Attention viewer, you are watching the world's biggest monster truck diecast YouTube channel. This is Monster Camo CT.
Well, hello world. Whoops, I forgot RJ. There we go. Hello. That was the best mistake ever. Hello world, and welcome back to the Monster Truck Collecting Podcast, episode 21. Sorry about that, RJ. Episode 21. We're back again with Hot Wheels Monster Jam. Last episode was a very fun episode. If you haven't watched it, it's actually a special edition. We did have Taylor Andes, the designer of everything I advertise every time, the OCD Meltdown Monster Jam truck, the fan-inspired truck, coming to the Superstore this April. We had a great discussion, I should say, and that was really cool. So if you guys haven't watched that one, if you guys are kind of bored or not watching all the Hot Wheels ones, that's a little break in the Hot Wheels saga for you guys. While I pull up Brian Patton, if Phil has any announcements, or RJ, feel free to share those. And hello, everyone in the comments. Hi there. Okay, go ahead.
I'll let RJ go first.
Okay.
Why me? Phil, how was your day? Did you enjoy the Dirt Bristol race like I did?
I enjoyed it until they decided to make the cars go single file on restart.
Single file restarts? Yeah, I didn't feel like that was a smart move either.
Made the race more flat than a pancake. It was ridiculous.
I agree.
But I do have some housekeeping notes. I have some shout-outs to give, because that's what Phil does. Now, apparently. My man Devin Biscotti, something. He's got a YouTube channel. It's called Devin's Motorsports Talk. So go check him out. He talks about motorsports. And also, it is my man Joey's birthday. His username is Monster Jam King 29.
I know.
So happy birthday, Joey.
Happy birthday, Joey.
That's name. So I hope he's listening. I talk an emoji. So.
Okay.
That's my housekeeping.
Do I have anything else to say? I believe for the viewers watching, OCD Meltdown was delayed by a week or so. So April 9th got pushed a little bit, but it'll still be inside of April as far as I can tell. If that changes, if it goes back to the original date or goes further than that, I'll let you guys know as things change. But we're still looking for maybe 2-3 weeks from now. Which is not that long, and it gives a little more hype. I mean, man, I've been waiting for this truck forever, so it feels like this hype has been nonstop for a whole year. But for you guys, it's only been about a month, about a month since actually a couple days since a month when I announced it. So there's that. With that said, we're going to start the screen share.
Oh, hold on. Don't you have big news?
What's my big news? Maybe I forgot.
About your YouTube channel.
Right. Yes, that was the last thing.
I
need to write note cards, like little presidential note cards. Thank you all, by the way, for 20,000 subscribers. That's a huge number that we've surpassed. That's a 14,000 subscriber increase since 2018, which is just insane to think. So, man, that is pretty crazy. So, thank you. I mean, without you guys, it wouldn't have been possible. So, thank you for 20,000. Here's 20% of 100,000. Which will probably take many more years, but we're along for the ride here. So thank you again for that. I really do appreciate that. So with that said, we're going to start our discussion of 2012. Not 2,000 subscribers. No, 20,000, not 20,000. 20,000, not 2,000. Okay. Anyway, 2,000 was like back in 2016. So here we go with that.
There's a big. Okay, so let's.
I have something to look at. So you talk. I'll be right back with that.
Let me run you over here. So a big change, in case you're not paying attention at home. There are no numbers in the 2012 line. So just know, for our purposes, we are alphabetizing everything. So like our first truck we're going to talk about is Aftershock. Aftershock wasn't the first truck that came out. I mean, if you want to follow the mix assortments, they're at the bottom of the patent website. So that first case, it says it featured Gravedigger, Backwards Bob, and Mohawk Warrior, and a couple of the reruns. But just a housekeeping note, we're not going crazy. We are going in alphabetical order because that's the easiest way to do it on the website. But just so you guys know that like they didn't release all the A trucks in like the first case. I mean, that'd be kind of funny. But this year and 2013 we do not get truck numbers. They come back for 2014, but the 2-year gap, and which made it a little more open-ended because then it's like the discussion: is there any missing trucks? Well, it makes it a little bit harder if you're not paying attention to the numbers on the packaging. So like they can get away with some stuff just by having no numbers.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry about that. Preoccupied with some Spin Masters.
That's okay. I ran you over.
That's fine. So 2012, like he said, no numbers. So we're gonna wing it here with the alphabetized layout, which in modern terms for I think it's Spin Master only. Yeah, because Hot Wheels is using numbers. We still use that system on Brandsy Patton, but Hot Wheels again does return to numbers eventually. This year, I don't know. I feel I was barely paying attention. I'm sorry. Did you mention the 30th anniversary going on?
Nope. Not
Okay.
yet.
So the 30th anniversary. This is 2012, so it's taking place during this year. We will see this happen also next year with the 10th anniversary of Max D. They actually mark that on every single truck card. So they really were celebrating. As we know, the 30th anniversary is probably the biggest celebration of the Gravedigger anniversaries thus far. Maybe 40th anniversary will be, something to note. But this one was definitely well celebrated. I mean, they had the 3D bodies, they had the Encore. It was awesome. This is also the year of another new accessory. Again, they're not going to go away. They're just going to change every year until recent times where they kind of become the same thing over and over again. This is the Topps trading card. So one of the collector's favorites. I think one of the more like upper ones of the accessories so far as well. And with that said, they also, a couple more little notes. They're really, I mean, like I said, they're really marking that 30th anniversary. They also have it on the insert placard. And they're still using those little symbols. So you'll see first editions and stuff on these trucks. Aftershock, I feel like this is a new scheme. I'll let Phil talk about that since I'm still trying to figure something out here. But Phil, this Aftershock scheme looks new to me.
Yeah, so this is a brand new Aftershock. We saw the Teammate truck Crazy Train make its 100% debut the previous year. Aftershock's a long stalwart of the toy line, but it is running a new scheme. This scheme is designed by Hot Wheels and really is still the genesis of what Aftershock looks like today, just kind of building off of this scheme, just minor changes. Now, I don't think Hot Wheels is actively involved in designing Aftershock these days for Donnie Hebert, but at least for Bob Robbins here, they get the fresh scheme. I will say on a weird note here, unfortunately, we just talked about these awesome trading cards. This is one of the few that's not the actual truck. So there are a couple trading cards that are packed in that are not based off of the truck itself. The majority are, but for some reason, Aftershock is not one of them. I don't know which card that is. Obviously, it's in El Toro Loco, but I don't know if it's signifying, because it did cards for like a freestyle competition or wheelies or things like that. But Aftershock's a brand new scheme here. I know that the original one was a long stalwart peg warmer, so this is a fresh one. Everybody picked this one up.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, RJ, if you have anything for that.
Just it's a new paint scheme at the time. Love to see new paint schemes, especially independents. Good stuff.
Check your Instagram DM, by the way. So Aftershock, awesome. My opinion, I really don't have one because this does stick around for a while. This scheme actually until Spin Master steps in, we have this scheme really for all the rest of Hot Wheels. So it's one that I remember as a peg warmer for a while there, but maybe it does change with the gray scheme actually one time for 2 years, I believe. So the next one is another new series. So this is actually one of the, I would say one of the lesser cared for series in a way, because the fact that in 2015, they're going to have an accessory called the Battle Slammer, and the roll cage that you see here, which is the new series, is called Edge Glow, and it's it's basically a pretty fragile in a way, transparent plastic roll cage, which is really cool. But when you get the Battle Slammers, if you like launch them with too much force and you hit them against something, the front clip or the back clip, depends on what you're using, they tend to break. So Edge Glow was a good idea. But I feel like the plastic, because it was really rigid plastic, it just wasn't the best for future accessories that came from it. So there's Avenger. So the Avenger's the first Edge Glow truck. There's many in this year, and there's actually going to be a very surprisingly, Edge Glow did become significant. A very rare, one of the rarest trucks in the world will be in this episode with Full Bore. So, Phil, if you want to talk about this Avenger scheme, looks like maybe it's a new scheme with updates. I can't really tell from last year.
Well, there really isn't any updates on here. Thoughts on Exco? Yeah, I guess it's a nice little twist because it's almost like your hybrid of, like, in my eyes, like an X-ray and a Spectre Flame, almost. Yeah. Just from the loud colors and see-through. It's a neat little touch. This is another good line, an excuse to, like, put out a truck in different form. And I think Avenger's a good call here. This is, again, same kind of vein of that Australian Avenger. If you got this Edge Glow Avenger and you rip off, maybe put Aftershocks rims on them, and you have a pretty solid Australian Avenger here. But yeah, that's pretty much all we got on my end. What do you say, RJ?
Yeah, I mean, I see the badge on there, so you love to see that. But this was kind of another take on the Aussie Avenger, kind of like the regular line. I mean, it doesn't have the yellow tires, or rims, I should say. But I like these edge glows, and been digging through a bunch of old trucks, finding a bunch more to put in like a black light case, because I believe Ryan said that makes them glow. So
it does. Yes.
I like it.
Yeah. So again, sorry for my absence here. I'm just trying to figure out a couple of things.
Can't notice.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to figure out a couple of things here. Very important. You guys will see tomorrow. This is the 2011. Wait, am I right on that? Did it say 2011? Yeah, 2011. Yeah. Deco Avenger for World Finals. Well, what would it be? World Finals 12. So they're doing now Avenger the year after the World Finals. You'll see the new scheme, as that's been the tradition since then. So now in 2012, we're receiving the 2011 scheme, which is World Finals 12. The numbering system's very off, but with that said, this is one of the two cherry red Avengers that we do get from Jim Kohler, Team Scream and Avenger. And in my opinion, over the one that's later called the Rainbow or the Garners Avenger, I actually prefer this cherry red one. And I'm going to pull up a couple pictures while Phil's talking and RJ's talking about this, but there's a couple inaccuracies in terms of the graphics, some things that they actually did not put on the truck, but this was the one we received from Hot Wheels for this year. It's not too bad, though. They did get a lot of things correct on here, and they also have that window printing still going on. So, Phil, fill us in on the World Finals 12 Avenger while I grab some photos of it.
Yeah, man. So this is the world champion truck. Kohler wins his second title here, tiebreaker over Nitro Circus. So big deal scheme here. Of course, this is an easy layup to get involved, as is almost all of Avengers World Finals schemes. I say almost because, of course, there are some missing from action. Yeah. But I like this scheme. I think this was a big change where this is really the first World Finals body where Jim strays away from like the design. His usual design, like where the flames and the skull is, just changing those colors. Like this is pretty much a completely different layout of the truck for this Avenger, and it only gets more extreme. He really doesn't run any other World Finals scheme that is like his normal scheme that they just change the colors on. They get more wilder. So start to that. It's an iconic scheme in Kohler's career, and here it is in toy form.
Yeah. Go ahead, RJ. I'm still trying to grab the photos.
It's iconic, like Phil said, world champion paint scheme or body, however you want to decipher that. But yeah, I mean, it's a nostalgic truck. It's iconic, and it's a World Freestyle Championship winning toy coming out.
Perfect. Yeah. All right, I found the photo I needed. So this is from the All Monster photo archive. So looking at the roof here. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. I meant to zoom in. Looking at the roof here of the Avenger that they had, you can see there's a lot of stuff missing from Hot Wheels version.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's because it has images of gambling, which appear on later editions and even their own World Finals commemorative, or they just didn't have the artwork available, or the artwork layout sheets didn't feature this and they changed the design at the last minute. All possible things. We'll probably never know why Hot Wheels didn't do it.
Well, it can't be gambling because we have the slot machine on the hood. That makes
no
sense.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying in the
high roller.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so that roof is just incredibly busy. Now, I originally thought that Sam's Town was on that roof. I guess not. Knowing that we'll see Sam's Town on a truck later on, but it's kind of weird. I mean, that's just such a busy roof. I mean, again, we're really involved with the water slide tampos for these trucks now, where a cost cutting thing that both toy companies still use today, where the decal quality, the legibility can be suffered on some of these, and I would imagine that would just look like a bag of Skittles on a water slide.
Yeah, exactly. And I would in the future. People are saying in the comments, even Tyler Ramirez, if there is a Spin Master 5-pack or whatever you have it with the Avenger schemes, or they just do one every year or two every year. Eventually, when they kind of circle back to the older ones that we've already seen on Hot Wheels, I do hope that we'll get the update for that roof, because I really like the artwork here. Although it is very busy, it's kind of hard to tell what's going on from this far away. But you got some poker chips, you got the roulette wheel, you have the Las Vegas sign. But my favorite thing is actually the Jim Kohler Joker card, which is really cool there, and the Brutus Joker card as well. So those little details are missing, but it was for its time, at least before people found those photos or actually saw the video footage. This kind of was okay with them. They also, if you see here, World Finals 2011, that's not what it says on the roof. It says double down. For whatever reason, they changed that. And also the trunk area, which has just two logos, which I can't tell. Is that Garner's Towing? Looks like Garner's Towing right there. They don't have, or they do have Garner's Towing with a different logo style, and they also have that. I'm not sure what the sponsor is, if Phil, you know that or not, but there's another sponsor there. They did add 4 other, obviously, Monster Jam logo and these other 2 or 3 sponsors. So it's a little different. Obviously not perfectly accurate, but the hood, I mean, they got the hood right. That's one major thing. But besides that, there was a lot of things not accurate about the roof. But the same cannot be said for the side panels. They actually did a really good job with the side panel. So, plus on that side. So there is World Finals 12 Avenger. Really awesome. And now we step into another new paint scheme of a truck that we've seen come back a lot of times. This is the Backdraft. So Backdraft on that same casting. We will see a casting change in a couple years from now. But this is really cool to see an update here. You can see they added that. Keep back 100 feet. Caution tag, and then we have the roof here, 343 for the service members who died, or the first responders who died on 9/11. So, Phil, talk about this scheme. I think it might be. Is this a real scheme that they're actually using?
Oh, of course, yeah. This is the accurate scheme because if you guys remember, and actually this is an interesting note, about halfway through they stopped putting the 30th anniversary digger logos on everything. So here's Backdraft as an example. As a later release truck in the year. But yeah, this was important because we've had the accurate casting since way back when. And when Backdraft first came out in small wheels, it was an accurate representation of the truck. And then Hot Wheels did their own design, which was just very interesting. And it was the commonplace scheme for a while. And this is a good time to pick it because this RJ, I'm old and slow. When was Jeremy Swift going to the World Finals? Was it 2011?
I feel, yeah, I think it was right around this time. I feel like I think it was 11, 12. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so Jeremy Slifko was a hot young gun. He's one of the top independents in Monster Jam, so it's a big deal when he gets a World Finals opportunity. So this is a great opportunity to update the truck accurately. Now RJ does mention the truck runs a white scheme at the World Finals. We never get that. Maybe we get a 124. I'm old and slow, but. We never get it in 160. We never get it, right? Yeah. Oh, maybe it's a 124. Go ahead. Go talk.
We never get a white one. Do we get it in 124? Because I don't remember it.
I don't think so. No, I'm getting confused. But this was an important truck. Everybody picked this up. It's accurate to the scheme.
Yeah, this one's totally accurate to the everyday, or not everyday, the every normal weekend shows. And the white one was just for the World Finals, which I think.
Well, they ran white a little bit afterwards. Yeah. They never made a white toy, which is such a shame.
Yeah.
Would have been an easy layup, but we don't get it. So, oh well. But this is a winner. This Backdraft.
This one's 10 out of 10 accurate. I love this one.
So what I'm distracted by, if everyone's curious, why I keep looking at my phone?
Nobody distracted.
No, this is cool. So this is an off-topic conversation as we usually have. Obviously, later this year, Series 18, we're getting the Rock Station. And if you've seen Rock Station or you know like the lore of that, there's a dog painted on the tail of the truck, and the design team at Spin Master got on the tail of Rock Station. So I'm just amazed that the dog has made it.
Gold.
I'm amazed at that. So that's what I keep looking at.
That's great.
I was trying to coordinate photos from our other influencers' mom to get me that photo and see if that was there. So the dog. Anyway, next up on the list here is Backwards Bob, a truck that we've talked about a lot recently, and back again. So if you guys want a cool trading card with it, that's the option for this. The graphics have suffered pretty bad with the updates now. As Phil said, the graphics have changed this year, so we're now in the DJI print process, which takes a lot of the quality out of them. They also didn't print these roof printing correctly on the Backwards Bob in this year. But with that said, I don't know, Phil, do we have to talk about this one?
I mean, Bob's getting rough. He's still Bob.
No, not really.
Yeah, so I'm just taking that for those photos. So
Next
Backwards
one up here.
Bad Habit. So this is the new scheme, which we did see debut. Was it? Am I wrong? Was it during 2010 when the whole community was involved? I feel like it was, right?
Whoa. Yeah. 2010, Bad Habit first came out.
Okay, that's right. That's what I meant. So here's Bad Habit again. And this is obviously the newer scheme. I believe, again, I'm not super keen on this stuff. I believe this is the world record body when he did the jump that he used.
When he did the first one, but not the one where he currently holds.
No, the first one I'm talking about. The kind of crashed and stuff. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, because in case people don't know, Bad Habit broke the long jump record that Bigfoot held for like 15-something years, and then Bigfoot broke it back, and then Bad Habit broke it back again, and then nobody has... nobody's tried it. I'm kind of surprised breaking world records that nobody tried to do that. They were more focused on. They really only broke the Raminator's record for the speed. There was never really.
They didn't try this.
Was there a wheelie record too that they tried, the unofficial? I don't know. I'm just surprised nobody has tried a long jump again in a long time.
Yeah, I agree with that. I kind of agree with that because that was fun there for about 2 or 3 years watching. Just go back and forth on the long jump record, and it was fun. And this truck's nostalgic for that, the first try.
This is a period of time, too, where Bad Habit's really starting to come into its own, too.
Yeah.
Joe Sylvester's really building more name for himself, and he's got a lot of great partners, like Lincoln Welders is on here right now, and he gets Ready Lift. This is also a period of time where Joe runs a lot of paint schemes. Like he almost takes like the War Wizard school of paint schemes, where it seems like every other month or so he's got some sort of new design on the truck. So we get this one here, and then we get kind of like a couple more, but we're missing a bunch. We're missing the other the long jump record truck, but. Again, when you have a truck that has too much schemes for Hot Wheels to catch up with, Bounty Hunter is another one too, where like they didn't even attempt to update Bounty Hunter for the longest time because Jimmy was just running way too many different designs. So that's always the product of the toys, where if you run too many designs, you're going to be playing catch up the entire time.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Bad Habit obviously is back in the scene now with the Bad Habit Relapse, which is a really awesome, revamp of this truck. Actually using very similar paint colors and scheme tones as this one. So I really kind of see that new scheme in this truck from the past. So Bad Habit, a great truck. Joe Sylvester, great guy. So that's a new scheme for this one. And Bad Habit also has a new scheme this year. If it'll load. There we go. So here we are, back again with things that are a first-time release, but in mud treads. Phil, if you want to take this discussion over for bad news.
This may be the biggest victim. When we talk about this argument, it's this truck. It's Bad News Travels Fast. It's the purple version. Now, Hot Wheels designs this again. As they have for pretty much, I think the previous two for sure. I mean, for sure the red one, probably the orange one too. Yeah, well, every 4 years we're updating the scheme, and this is the time where Brandon Darrow buys the truck from Bruce Haney, so he continues that tradition, changes the scheme to purple, new looks and everything. I don't know why the frame is navy blue. That doesn't make any sense. orange rims I don't think make sense either, right? Yeah, so like there's a couple of like accuracy inaccuracies there, but again, the biggest victim here is that this is in the Mud Trucks line, and unfortunately, we never get this purple scheme on this body normal. I think when we update the truck casting, we get it.
Yeah, but then it's mud again, right? Yeah, because
but we get it like in a play set or something. I think they sneak one in or something because this becomes like a X Racer the next year, I think. So it's like I don't know why they decided to just ruin this whole purple thing. By the time they give us a normal one, it's too late. We already changed it to green, so it's a shame. But nonetheless, this one everybody bought. This is a earlier case release too. I think this came out in the second or third assortment for the 2012.
I think this was in B, I think.
Yeah,
in B. So I got a gray bigger here, so that was from B. But yeah, I feel like every time they went to, hey, new bad news scheme, we're gonna throw mud on it.
Let's put something special with it. So yeah, this truck is very much always a victim of new scheme with something special. Super unfortunate. And so yeah, there's bad news travels fast, and then we have Batman again. There's a lot of re-releases happening during this time, so this one's nothing spectacular. Same stuff going on. You're basically just buying it if you don't have it, or if you have it already, you're buying it for the Topps trading card.
Yeah. This solved the re-release issue we were talking about with the playset. That Batman with it says two-time champion with Advanced Auto Parts was because I remember we were
yes.
Okay, so that resolved that.
So Black Stallion appears 2 times this year. Once
here's the scheme. It should still be. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No worries. This is the clean Black Stallion, so a new scheme finally for this truck in Hot Wheels, and I'll let RJ and Phil take over in just a moment. But we also get the other scheme again, re-released, which I don't think happens much with the Spectre Flame, but we're about to see Spectre Flame. I guess we'll just quickly look at it because I want them to talk about that scheme. So we saw this last year, so it's back again. However, I think for very, very strict variant collectors, this is kind of a variant with the new graphic style. I wouldn't argue it too much, kind of, but I'll leave that one up to interpretation. So Phil and RJ, about the Safety Clean Black Stallion, a very, very well-known paint scheme.
Go ahead,
RJ.
No.
Okay, so Safety Clean Black Stallion. This is right when it comes on the scene, and in current monster truck land, this is the primary Black Stallion scheme. I know it bounces around. Oh dear gosh. Okay, hold on. Studio. Anyways, it's very strange how we don't keep getting. I'm almost kind of wondering if Safety Clean is in the same vein of like they only want their truck released once because Black Stallion continues to get toys. We just don't get it as a Safety Clean version, which is the same. Stop it. So. Yeah, but this is, accurate. It's a great release, and it's stop touching me.
Yeah.
Okay, RJ, take it over.
I feel like the Safety Clean. He just ran out. It's got me laughing. Phil might be onto something with the Safety Clean only being in one, selected release because this scheme is still the scheme they have for Black Stallion, and we only get it once in this year. So very strange. Wish we would have got more of it, just out of accuracy. But
exactly. Yeah. All right, Phil's back. Let's see if he silenced his phone.
Okay, so then that Spectre Flame one. I don't know why we're re-releasing Spectre Flames, especially an old scheme. What a waste.
Yeah, spot on right there, folks. That is quality content.
Quality content. Yes, so Black Stallion, both of them in this year, and then we have another Mud Treads edition. Actually, I feel like we have this one last year, right? Yeah, Iron Outlaw, Scarlet Bandit, and Bounty Hunter came out last year with the Mud Treads. So this is a push forward from last year. Nothing to talk about there. Brutus is, I feel like we haven't seen this in a while. Maybe we have. We have. We're going to see a new scheme, I believe, next year. Yeah, so Brutus here again. The last time you get the chance to own this. However, that little tiny cut-off Monster Jam logo is a variation. So you're not out of the woods with Brutus unless you have that and you're a variant collector. Bulldozer makes another appearance, this time with yellow rims. Very often confused with the Easter Beast edition. I recall just recently I was talking to Armando Castro. He was trying to collect all the Bulldozer and El Toro variations, and he was on eBay, and he thought he found an Easter Beast Bulldozer, but it was actually this one, which he also needed. But very often you get this mixed, or collectors get this mixed up with Easter Beast. The only way you can tell the difference is that outstanding bright red bar on top of the Monster Jam logo, Advanced Auto Parts. Also, if you know where to look, the gray chassis versus the chrome one of this edition. And also, if you really have a good eye, the yellow rims are not this like prominent yellow on the Easter Beast. They're more of a pastel. But other than that, this Bulldozer is the exact same body besides that update than previous years. So if you guys want anything to say about it, I feel like we've
I don't know why we even did this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it seems weird, but Bulldozer is always loved by everyone, and it will continue to get released until, I believe 2015 is the last time we see Bulldozer until 2021 this year with Spin Master. So this is going to be around for a few more years, and then it's going to disappear and then be resurrected. Next up is the M2D Camo Thunder. This was
we should move this.
Yeah, I know. He mislabeled it as just Camel Thunder. This was Patriot's teammate here, I believe. Am I correct on that? Yeah, Patriot. Yeah. Okay. So I very, very vaguely remember Levi Schoen's conversations in the pit parties. That's how I knew that. So there is the M2D Camo Thunder. The cool part about this is actually these diamond plates are actually raised graphics. So it's our first time ever getting these raised graphics by Hot Wheels. They'll return with the Chase Beast series in 2015. But yeah, this was really cool. I loved this release. Not the most flashy independent truck of all time, but it was nice to have it at least a couple times in diecast form. So Phil, tell us about M2D.
Yes, Made to Deceive Camo Thunder. This was a sponsorship. Obviously, this is our Tropical Thunder truck. Yep. Now seen with a sponsorship. Now, what's kind of interesting, Tropical Thunder was released on what's like the Ford tooling. Now this is the more accurate Chevy tooling that Tropical Thunder probably should have been released on many years back. We get here for Camel Thunder. This is a one-time release, but this was also an early release for 2012. So there was a lot of these, and we'll talk about in the other parts for this 2012 line some of the other ways that Camel Thunder was released. So it's kind of interesting. This truck, it gets so much attention right at the beginning of 2012, but we never see it again. It's a hard to find truck, but it's just very interesting. If you're in that time frame, these things are everywhere.
Yeah. I never saw that many of them, but I do have one, so I'm fortunate I have one. Sorry, go ahead if Ryan was saying something.
No, that's all I really to say about this one.
Very, very interesting on the raised graphics, might add.
Yes, very, very. So M2D Camo Thunder, again, misplaced on our list here, but there nonetheless. And then Captain's Curse, if it'll load.
You know what's weird? The kid that I gave a shout out to at the beginning of tonight's podcast unfriended me.
Out and then it's gone. Phil, I'm going to ask you to screen share because I'm losing the internet here.
Oh, great.
I'm going to stop straining it before it kicks me off the stream.
Does anyone have any questions that pertain to 2012? Hey, when did they make it overboard? They're like, gosh.
No comment. That was pretty good.
You guys need some brain power. If only you guys saw the DMs I get daily from just, it's like, anyways, I love all of you, but goodness golly. Share screen, Chrome tab, 2012. Oh, hey, here we are.
Here we go. We're back in business, folks.
I don't think Ryan's here. Is he here?
I don't know if he's here or not. He's froze on both of mine. So.
I'll kick him out so he knows we can't hear him.
Great.
Let's see what happens now.
Let's see.
What's our next truck? Captain's Curse. So we can ramble about Captain's Curse for a little bit because Captain's Curse is a re-release.
Yep. Nothing too fancy. Just a re-release. Captain's Curse. Got the 2000.
What I'm going to run you over again because I found interesting is that we're updating all of our stuff to say Advanced Auto Parts, but not the Captain's Curse roof. So that's weird.
Yeah, true.
And if I'm not mistaken, 2012 is like that weird year where Captain's Curse does not run in first quarter, but then it runs World Finals. So
there was a lot. I remember that back in the day. We would have what trucks are going to be at the World Finals, and now it's just kind of like, well, we don't have one. But
we don't have one. Well, he's kaput.
He's trying to boot up, folks.
We don't know who you're kicking him out again. That's why he couldn't stream. His internet decided to go south.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, I'm sure. I don't know if he has anything to comment on Captain's Curse, but.
Well, no, not really. I mean, it's kind of interesting here. We speed through some of these where we're re-releasing because Bounty Hunter Mud was a re-release too, right?
Yeah, Bounty Hunter Mud was, I believe.
So we were re-releasing all this extra stuff. Okay, Sunshine, you got a copy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, unfortunately we can.
Oh, okay. Let's hop into Crusader then, because I don't need to cover Captain's Curse. I feel like you guys probably covered that pretty well.
Yeah, so here's another one that probably should be somewhere else on the site. This is the Lucas Oil Crusader. Ryan?
A good one. This was the debut year of this truck in diecast form, and very memorable one. So our first edition of Lucas Oil Crusader, and basically that's that. You guys know what Lucas Oil Crusader was, and obviously retired recently. That Lucas Oil right there in the front clip reminds me of Metal Militia from last year. I mentioned that. I believe that was the only time they ever did that, but Lucas Oil did get that one time on their release too, so that's pretty cool. But you don't really see that much ever on the SUV or pickup truck grills. So yeah, Lucas Oil Crusader. Phil, you can tell us the rest about this story. I'm sure there's a lot to go with this one.
Man, so Lindsey Wink moves into the Lucas Oil Crusader and is the only driver of Crusader up until like 1 or 2 weekends in 2020 where Mark McDonald drove the truck. That's how long the truck ran. This was debuts in 2011, so almost 10 years the truck only has one driver, and then really for a fill-in, the only driver is Lindsey Wink, which is super interesting. Sponsor relations. When you have a true sponsor like Lucas Oil, they tend to stay with one driver, and that's it, unless of extreme circumstances. So yeah, this is a big layup truck. Lucas Oil's obviously been on a lot of the toys over the years with like Avenger and Brutus, so they're not gonna play hokey pokey about giving licensing. Crusader's cool here. Cool how we have it on black rims. That's always fun. But yeah, this is an A+ truck. Definitely a truck of the year sniffer here because it's a new truck. So yeah.
If we didn't have all the Gravedigger heat in this line, well, I mean, there's not that much Gravedigger heat, but I mean, this is a solid truck of the year, a year previous. But with what's in this line and how long this line is, it gets lost. But it's a staple. I just dug mine out the other day, so very cool.
A shameless plug for the Winks here on Monster Truck Outlaws of the West podcast. Our most recent guest was Nathan Wink, and Lindsey Wink was in the comments section. So if you want to hear what Nathan Wink has been up to for the last 10 years, since we last saw him really full-time drive, check that out in the podcast feeds and on Facebook. So yeah,
that was a really good podcast. I actually watched that one. I forgot my screen sharing. So yeah, Lucas Oil Crusader, I feel like we've expended our full knowledge of this, so we'll be back with it many times later.
And here comes another barn burner.
Oh, we just talked about Crustacean.
Hey,
Crustacean. Signed up card there. So Crustacean debuting 2012, another debut truck, really cool. First time out. It's funny. Back when this debuted, I was reviewing back then. I don't have those reviews up anymore, but I was really upset that they didn't do the claw ties, and the community really got upset about it too. And then I believe it's in either, don't remind me, I think it's 2013 or so, that they start doing the claw ties printed on, and then eventually, because of I don't know why actually. Something happens. Eventually, they change the casting again, and they also change the roll cage to match the Crustacean, and they add 3D claw ties. So the claw ties story is funny. They do eventually also add the fisherman to the roof, and those things will come later in the years. Then we get a blue one, and that's the story. So Crustacean, this is the first time tooling. Not too bad. Pretty cool. They did use the Time Flies roll cage. Wait, actually, no, they did not use a Time Flies roll cage. This is actually a new roll cage. I forgot the cab for Crustacean is a very interesting shape. So this is also a new roll cage for this truck alone. If you notice, they did mold the shocks onto the body. Eventually, when they update that tooling, those shocks will be plastic on the roll cage, and the body will have cuts inside to fit the shape. And that same method was used in Spin Masters edition later on in 2019. So. Crustacean, tell us, Phil, what's the deal with this giant red lobster?
This giant red lobster, man. So Greg Witchenbach out of Jefferson, Maine, there had this crazy idea. So Greg had been in the business for a bit, and he had this crazy idea to build this truck that looked like a lobster. The truck debuts in 2010. He wanted to have this done by 2000. So the original chassis, he bought it. Dan Patrick in the year 2000, and it sat for 10 years before he could actually make a truck. And he had the idea back then. So just picture like
Bulldozer, Predator, and a freaking lobster.
And a lobster.
Madness. Oh my god!
This would have ruined everybody's mind back then, because the 3D bodies were like the most extensive. Like the 3D bodies we're getting in like the year 2000 was like Goldberg.
Yeah.
Imagine a lobster. Yeah. Like, that's insane.
Lobster coming out.
So the truck finally runs, man, and he gets a lobster. And I remember when he finally got it going, and like the first time he had like the lobster body on the truck, like the local paper or something came out and interviewed Greg. And he said that, you know, one of his biggest goals was to get a Hot Wheels toy, and that he'd been in contact with Hot Wheels even before like he ran a Monster Jam event. Now, of course, a truck looking like this, Monster Jam is going to book as soon as plausible, and they do. Easy toy layup. And what's really cool, fast forward now, Greg has not ran Monster Jam in quite a number of years. 2016 or maybe 2017 is the last time Crustacean ran Monster Jam. Still getting Monster Jam toys. And, with Spin Master being the new company, I know that was like one of the big ones. Like, where was Crustacean going to go? Well, Spin Master picked them up, and they're still making these schemes. Like we talked about Crustacean Raw earlier. Yeah. That's a scheme that has never, ever seen Monster Jam, and we're getting it in the Spin Master Monster Jam toy. So pretty cool how Greg has stayed put, still making these toys. Even like if you imagine if Hot Wheels were to make it, like he doesn't run Hot Wheels events. So it's pretty cool how the toy companies see value in this gigantic lobster, and we're still getting lobster toys today.
Yeah, it's crazy to look back on this one, and now just mentioning the dog of the coming out of the future. This thing obviously has an argument for Truck of the Year of this season. That needs to be noted. And it was a barn burner back then. Still, it's crazy to see the evolution of Crustacean.
Yes, exactly. So Crustacean, very interesting body, and one of my favorites recently was the Raw Crustacean. I love that scheme that they did. So next up is Derailed, and we had a pretty extensive discussion about this both in OCD Meltdown podcast and when this first was announced back in 2011. Derailed's back again. They're really cool. They have the the sketch from Hot Wheels on there for the training card, Topps trading card. And besides that, Derailed's the same thing that you got last time, except with that new logo. So I feel like we've talked about enough. I mean, we've covered the background.
Crab Nation. No, Krabby Nation. It doesn't make any sense. So Crustacean's named Crustacean because it's a play on words off of an actual lobster, which is a crustacean. In case nobody they skipped biology that day or something. All right, next truck.
Desperado. This one surprised me when it came out, but I feel like Phil, you can give us more details on Desperado because I know we've talked about this in the past. So but my own opinion on this one, I was so excited to have this in my collection. It's one of the cooler ones of 2012. So Phil, tell us what this truck actually is and how it made a quick little appearance in Hot Wheels.
Yeah, pretty fun here. So Drew Haygood, the late Drew Haygood, Drew passed away a couple years after these toys came out. He ran a truck called Dreamcatcher, and then he changed the name to Desperado. It had a lot more of a wild scheme, very much graphic heavy, and he would run a handful of Monster Jam events every year, like arenas. I don't think he ever saw Desperado sneak into a stadium or anything, but he definitely had his handful of events, and he'd be in the business for a while. Interesting toy choice. I like the orange of the truck. It's very much loud and proud. It's like a burnt orange more so, or like a sunset instead of like a loud orange. Yeah, like a loud orange, like Bad News or anything. This one really is chalked up in like a weird independent or like a weird truck that gets made. I don't think really anybody's asking for Desperado. Probably a good contingent, but no one's complaining that they got it and everybody bought it. It was just very like interesting choice. Definitely, probably if there was priority trucks, I don't think Desperado would have made it, but you're not going to say no to when you get different people getting toys, and Desperado definitely fits that.
I remember, by looking at the picture, we don't see the 30th anniversary logo. So I remember this being towards the end of the year when it came out, and it spiked my interest. I mean, I do like orange, even if it is burnt orange and not bright orange. I did like it. It's something you can use at your local county carpet league instead of a Monster Jam Stadium event. You always got this truck to use, round fillers and whatnot. But I liked it, and I do like the design of it. Did back then, still do. Looking at it.
Yeah, definitely a truck that wouldn't fare well in being chosen for an independent lineup for current years, but it was nice to have in some sort of diecast form for its short time that it did have that. So Desperado, really cool. I've also noticed they've been using a lot of black paint rims for this year, like Lucas Oil, Desperado. I think maybe M2D had it. No, Crusader. Oh, I feel like I've seen more than I did. Never mind.
Probably a couple others here that sneak in.
There will be. Dragon's Breath, another cool change here. So Variation Collectors, this is another one you're going to need to find. This is the Chrome Rims edition of Dragon's Breath. Previous ones have been white rims. Besides that, the graphics layout is the same as previous.
And it's very strange why they label this a first edition just based off of a rim, I guess. But that doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah. Actually, I don't even think I remember. I was aware of this variation. I didn't buy it. So
yeah, I had to get it at the Mattel store in El Segundo, where the Mattel HQ is, as a doubles pack. It was like $2 for that doubles pack because they made too many, so that was fun. But yeah, that's how I eventually got that variation. With that said, we're on to the next truck because I feel like we've covered that one. El Matador, another one we've covered extensively. So yeah, I don't feel like we need to talk about this one.
No, you've seen it. Here it is again. You know what's cool? I mean, these trading cards, man, a little bit more of an incentive to buy this stuff. Well, a re-release from 2010 here, the El Toro Loco mud truck.
The Crimson El Toro Loco too,
not quite sure. Again, I'm not quite sure why. So this is again the mud truck lines and our Spectre Flames, and now we have the Edge Glows. Those are devices to make trucks that are subject to re-release. Just do something a little different. Like you could have this mud should have been on El Matador, like not El Toro Loco again. We're not asking for re-releases of trucks that would have been re-released anyway. So like it's like we're grabbing a used napkin out of a garbage can, using it, and then as we're throwing it away, we stick it in our back pocket and say, maybe I'll use it again later. Like, that's disgusting. Like, come on.
I feel like digging through, finding those El Toros, I agree. Like, there's just so many of them, and I don't understand why they love that scheme.
Before it got disconnected. That's a word. All right, next truck. Eradicator.
Well, this one was nice.
Yes. This one was very hard for me to find in 2012. I ended up finding it at Big Lots, I think. Yeah, Big Lots. They had a box of 2012, a case just sitting on the pegs or the shelf. I opened it up. Sure enough, there was an Eradicator. I needed it forever. This body, if I recall from what Tyler said, never ran. So it was just like a custom concept, whatever going on here. But it was bright. It was pink. It's really cool. Something you don't really see Hot Wheels approve. So like we talked about pink, back then pink was very minimal. And this is like screaming magenta pink with spray paint on the sides. So awesome that they did it. As for the truck that it pertained to, is kind of odd. No, Eradicator usually is running different color schemes than like just pink and black. But actually, never mind. The SUV did run that similar scheme. But
you're lying. Okay, before you talk yourself into a pit here. Eradicator did run a white body with a pink chassis at this time.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But so here's the goofball part. So we were just talking about Backdraft for the time period had that Hot Wheels design truck, and now we get the updated Backdraft. I'm kind of half wondering if Hot Wheels did this design or not, because in the 2012 Monster Jam yearbook, that Eradicator design is present for Andy Slifko. Now, granted, this body's definitely more black or like a charcoal-ish. But it's the exact same design as our white body here, but it never makes the truck. And again, like I was just running over Ryan with, the truck does get pretty close to this. It runs a white pickup body with the pink chassis, so it's like they almost did it, but then they changed the designs back to. Eradicator ran some wacky stuff, but like the normal Eradicator logo that the truck ran for almost its entire existence. And that was the final scheme up until the truck changed over to Muddy Girl with new ownership from Paul Brode, that which it still runs today with a white pickup body, pink chassis. That was the final scheme for Eradicator. So yeah, I like the toy because it's loud and proud, but the scheme, I don't know why it never ran.
Yeah, that's very interesting on the scheme. I mean, it's like almost there, but it's not completely there. Who knows? Maybe the decal printer was not printing off that day, and you just never get around to it. But this one I picked up at a local parts store. I remember it because they were like, "Why are you getting a pink toy?" I'm like, "It's a rare monster truck, people. I don't care what you just check me out. Let me carry on." But yeah, this one was nostalgic, and I'm glad I have one.
And somebody asked in the comments what happened to Muddy Girl anyways. Nothing. Muddy Girl ran like 2 weeks ago. So that's because don't run Monster Jam don't mean don't exist no more.
Oh my gosh, that
people on the internet this week were like, I'm sure RJ saw. Like, did you see Ron Nelson's back? It's like Ron Nelson never left.
Yeah, Ron's been back, guys. Like,
anyways.
Oh, I'm looking at myself on the camera. I forgot to mention I'm wearing this crew shirt instead of OCD Meltdown because Ryan Anderson won the Stadium Series Championship on behalf of Spin Master. So the team's really proud about that, and just sharing that off. So good job, Brian. Everyone's.
Are they proud?
We're pretty proud. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So let's keep going on. Excalibur.
Hey, Excalibur.
Yeah. All right. So this is the first look at it, other than the playset last year.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why this isn't labeled first edition. Is it just because is it a truck? Because it's a truck we already seen, but a new scheme, even though it's an old scheme of a new truck, right? Yeah, something like that.
2011 or
12. We did see in the playset in 2011, so it's not a first edition.
But it makes no sense why it's in there. Okay, so yeah, folks, this was a big deal, man. When CGH for the 12th time came back to Sudden Impact Racing, he runs his Excalibur with this throwback scheme to OG looking Excaliburs back in the day. Obviously, you guys probably know Charlie Pocken drove this Excalibur quite a bit back in the day. So, this is a A+ toy too.
Yes.
A lot of people going after. You see here the Red Cat logos on here, Red Cat RCs. So, you guys remember a discussion from 2011 how you were supposed to get a ground pounder? Well, we're still getting the Red Cat logo on the toys here, so it's still getting compromised, but yet no ground pounder toy. But A+ scheme for me. What do you say, RJ?
Yeah, I say A+. I mean, it's nostalgic. It's when it came back, and then it ran that Pontiac show. When not the last, but you know which one I'm talking about. Anyway, just nostalgic. It's classical. Anything with throwback in its name or in its genes, I love. So good stuff.
And to think now, another consistency thing with this team, Shock Therapy's on the Chevy body. The Excalibur literally has the Chevy logo in the design.
Yeah,
cool.
That always bugged me. God,
Impact was never on Chevy bodies. So it's just very. I mean, this team was, and then there's another truck that comes out from this team, I think this year too, where it's on the Chevy body, so it doesn't even make any sense.
Ice Monsters Chevy body, and then I don't know.
That's not till next year. So, but yeah, it's very. Oh no, it's this year too. It's mislabeled on our site. So yeah,
and it has a Red Cat logo too, or whatever you said. I noticed that as well.
I hope Ryan's writing these down so he can reorganize them.
Phil, you can edit the website now. I taught him how to do it, everyone, except he forgot. He didn't decide to write the notes down. So Phil, it's your job now. Actually, I was going to mention though, this jokes aside, the Excalibur is released again later this year, twice. Once well, we're going to see it in a doubles pack. It's called the Then and Now pack. And then the Now truck from that pack is also released. Actually, you're probably about to see it. So, Phil, let's go ahead and check that out.
What are we looking at?
I think it's isn't the Then and Now Excalibur in this same year?
No,
it's next year.
no.
Oh, it's next year. Okay, well, we're going to see that one later this year. I was gonna say,
Vintage and Gravedigger's Vintage, I believe, are the only three that come over from the two packs into singles.
Hey,
yeah,
say
okay,
that.
I was going to say it was going to be odd to see them both in the same year in the doubles pack and the singles. But anyway, wrong year. You'll see the Then and Now pack later, probably part 2 of this this series. So down to the next truck. Here we go. Okay, so we're about to start a pretty rabbit hole experience here with this. So full bore, this is the Edge Glow edition of it. There are 2 editions of this full. This one is the more mass-produced out there. Most people have this one if they bought it because this is the one that was sent to stores. Now, when we talk about the next one, which is also an Edge Glow, we're talking about probably in my ranking of like the most like rare trucks that were publicly released, probably ranking number 2. And it's so silly because it's an Edge Glow, and everyone, for the most part, no one like flipped out over Edge Glow. Is So for not only that that roll cage series to become the second, in my opinion, rarest truck in the world, full bore also becoming the second rarest truck in the world is pretty insane too, because it was a peg warmer. And this one was most certainly not a peg warmer.
Where was this one, Ryan?
What RJ?
I'll continue where this one was found.
Yeah, so this is where I was going to get to. So most commonly, if you have this one, you bought it on Monster Jam Superstore. And because this got released in stores, people didn't buy a full bore off the Monster Jam Superstore. They didn't know the difference between the 2 Edge Glow cage colors. They assumed one or the other was going to make it to stores, and then both are going to make it to stores. That was a really bad assumption. So for whatever reason, somehow these all sold out. They must have had a really limited quantity. And from there, the international folks also got, in certain cases, the blue Edge Glow roll cage variant. So there's 2. If you're a carded collector, this is kind of going pretty extreme with that in itself. But there's 2 different card variations, international, and I believe it's either a Superstore card back or it's just random card back from this year. But man, this truck really did become, whether you call it the 3rd rarest or the 2nd rarest or just one of the rarest, it did become a high commodity item. And I believe I got mine from the UK. So, if you're out there and you like have thrift stores or what else, like swap meets, you might have a chance. If you're an international, obviously not USA, you have a higher chance of actually discovering one. But to have it on card in the package is one of the harder things to do. So if you're a carded collector, that's going to be an even tougher deal to have to go through. But this one is not one I see commonly. I've actually seen more Skatazoids in the last 2 years than I have these. But they are out there. They're hard to find. But if you do find it, sometimes the person doesn't know they have something rare because it's this. So sometimes you can sneak a little deal out, but sometimes they do know what they have, which makes it harder. But yeah, full bore. So Phil, what do you think about this whole thing with this truck?
A couple things. Again, this actually comes out as a mud truck in 2011. So again, another one where this is a slightly updated scheme from like the Fantasy Designs and the one we get from 2005 with like some updated sponsors. So again, another one that should have been standard before it gets a special treatment. Also, observation from the orange Edge Glow, it actually has a different frame. So this is like the more straight frame compared to the shorter frame that we see on a lot of like the concept trucks or like our Destroyer and Pure Adrenaline from 2010. So just noticing that too. But why do we have 2 different Edge Glow colors here? What are your thoughts, or do we know why?
They purposely did it.
They purposely did to make a rare variation. Who knows? Maybe they did. Honestly, I have no idea, but I gotta say the blue looks much better than the orange. It could have been that Team Full Bore wanted the orange instead of blue, and it was the last minute change. I mean, this happens. I mean, speaking out of speaking out of what I know from Spin Master side, for instance, in 2019 when they were doing the first mix variations, Rosalie wanted green rims instead of pink rims on her Wildflower, so they changed that midway. So this could have been an instance of team intervention on the truck change, or they just accidentally produced some small amount of units of blue edge glow roll cage full bore on accident, which can also happen sometimes too. There's many different reasons why it could have happened, but regardless of how it happened, it's an official variation for sure, and it is one of the rarest in the world. So crazy that this worked out the way it did. Phil, were you asking me because you know the answer, or were you just asking me for my opinion?
No, I don't know what's going on.
Okay. I was thinking Phil's maybe going to sneak in here with like a secret story of this whole conspiracy why it's blue, but never mind. I gotta say it's probably one of those many different reasons, or we're just completely wrong. There's a completely different reason, but it's a silly one here. I just feel like out of all the rare trucks you can look at, full bore is just like boop, right there in the middle, and it's just like, wow, that truck is second rarest. So there it is, full bore blue edge glow roll cage, the second rarest truck in my opinion in the world. Gravedigger, awesome. So it's obviously the year of Gravedigger, 30th anniversary Gravedigger. The series will be coming up here in a moment, but this is the normal release for this year. I believe the roof is still, or no, this is the update to the roof, 4-time champion. So they've added the fourth championship there. Also changed the Monster Gym logo to be proper, and it is using the Neil Vandenberg art style. So it's the new graphics. It looks like, this is the, it's actually still pretty good for the DJI print process, but this is the new graphics system, not the clear graphics. So that's with the difference. So you're probably going to be buying this for the update on the championship on the roof. Yep, so next Gravedigger starts our little trifecta. So here is the 30th anniversary Gravedigger, number 1. This is the black paint scheme. So this was the basic scheme they ran on the tour for non-Dennis Anderson drivers. So this is the one you saw. If you didn't have Dennis at your show, sadly, you're going to see this truck. Well, not sadly, it was a pretty cool scheme. I love the creative side. I mean, they did an awesome job taking the 3 and the moon and making 30 out of it. I honestly think if they just want to go super plain with next year's anniversary, they could just do the 40 same way, and I'll take it. Or do the green ghost face with the 40. That'll be a scheme too. I'll take that too. But anyway, it is pretty awesome. The one thing I didn't like about this is that they, out of all the different schemes which had that logo, they decided to use the stacked curve logo for this card, which is not, not
OCD. I could see that be a big deal.
It just didn't make sense. But then in the future, Spin Master will do the same mistake but reversed, and then they'll fix it. So no one can ever get it perfectly right all the time with this kind of stuff. It's more of a continuity inspection there. So this is number 1. If you guys want to talk about this, Phil and RJ, I feel like it's the more basic scheme and not much to actually say. It's kind of self-explanatory, but go ahead.
They added a 3.
Yeah.
I liked it. It's simple but noteworthy. So like you said, if they want to do that with the 40th, I'd be fine with that too. But I liked it. It's nostalgic. We can get to the
it's something. Go ahead. Sorry.
Nothing. I was just gonna say, if you want to get to the Dennis schemes, those are always better.
Oh yeah. Everyone wants to get to those. I was gonna say it's more than the 35th anniversary roof graphic. I feel like this was more inclusive. So if they're just gonna go plain with the 40th anniversary, I feel like that's the easiest way to do it. Is just a 4 on the side and anniversary pins or laid out on the side there by Jim McJ. So that's number 1. Next up is green. Yep, green. Yep. Oh man, there's a lot of Gravediggers this year. Okay, so green 30th anniversary Gravedigger. Out of the 3, I feel like, out of the 2, I should say, of the special Dennis schemes, I feel like this is the lesser loved one. I feel like the purple one's always the one that's given all the pomp and circumstance, but green was not too bad either. I loved that they changed the fog color to purple. That was the big thing about this. Yeah, RJ has one too. This was a really cool scheme. Don't get me wrong. And Neil Vandenberg, who did the artwork for this, did a phenomenal job laying it out. And then the team who painted these bodies also did an amazing job making them come to life. The couple things that went wrong with Mattel's editions of these, just because at the time they were using this casting, The flames had to be kind of put around the front of the nose. They didn't reach the front of the flames. Didn't reach the front of the body. So it was just a weird deal. I noticed that when I was a kid. I'm not just saying that now in retrospect with Spin Master stuff. I did notice that, and it really confused me a lot to why they couldn't push the flames just a little bit forward to make it line up. But for its time, actually, can we take a look at the roof graphic real quick? I think we missed that one before we talk about the next feature of this, because it is a special. Yeah, there we go. So pretty cool. There's that. It does have the correct flame layout, the outline with the red, the white flames, the roof there, badge the bone for 30 years, and all of the championships, which were really awesome. So very creative. And you can see right there the 30th anniversary scheme right in the back of the top trading card. So back up to the top. There's one more thing to mention about these before I let these two take over. These are Spectre Flames. Now, I get it. It's the 30th anniversary. It's a special. Spectre Flame is obviously a special series, and especially in Hot Wheels collector land, that's a very special commodity. But when they did that, they took away an accurate part of these, because these were actually metal flake paint. And Hot Wheels obviously does fabulous metal flake paint jobs. So the choice to go with Spectre Flame kind of changed the course of history, because we didn't get accurate Gravediggers. But then obviously now we're getting them again with the correct paint color. The one thing about this is that if Mattel had done the 3D bodies with the 3D face and logos, this actually would have worked, because it would be simulating chrome, and those bodies were Spectre Chrome paint. So Spectre Flame paint would have worked just fine. So I had someone ask me recently, or say something that Spin Master's metallic paint doesn't match Mattel's, and it's like it was a different deal. Spectre Flame and Metal Flake are two different things. But the one other thing I didn't like about the Spectre Flame edition was the bead locks. They rub off very easily on the purple edition, if no one's noticed that. And they were just like, if you accidentally even touch it, it's like it's gone. So
funny, mine would rub off on the green.
Yes, all the Spectre Flames. Yeah, earlier Spectre Flames, especially anything that's not the red Spectre Flame color on the beadlock, rubs off, very, very easily. So displaying these and getting their beadlock side by side is a nightmare, and you're ruining your trucks. So with that said, I'll open the floor up to this discussion on the green one by Phil and RJ.
I'll wait till we'll talk about the purple to do a cumulative. But I will say this is the first year in the main line that we're having the Spectre Flame rims as different colors. Yeah. We do get it as a World Finals truck the previous year with the blue, but this is the first time in the main segment that it's different colors.
Yes, exactly.
It was both of these are my trucks of the year, just being a Gravedigger fan my whole life, so typical, but just nostalgic. Just a great season. Just a great truck. It was with the color of the body and all the things we wanted to be exact, and them not being exact for what it is in the time frame. I took it. What can you do?
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm saying all this stuff in a retrospective point of view now. Besides the flame layout, because we have better technology. At the time, you got what you got, and I really don't ever remember complaining. Besides just noticing that pullback on the flames, that was the only thing I noticed, and the Spectre Flame beadlock removal. But yeah, this was a great release, and so was the next one coming up. So Phil, let's go to the purple one for this. I loved the purple as much as I complain about the inaccurate part about it. I loved the purple Spectre Flame. That color is rad, and it reminds me actually of a truck that just debuted, the Monster Mutt Dalmatian Galaxy, that deep purple color. I love it. And if I recall correctly, it's their only purple Spectre Flame release. Oh, no. Scarlet Bandit had a lighter purple. This one's like a deep purple color. So it's really cool. And that's really all I can say about this. It's obviously a reverse of the other scheme. It's green instead of purple, which makes the graphics green instead of purple as well. The only thing graphics-wise, and this would be more for Neil Vandenberg, not Hot Wheels, the inverse of the color scheme would have made the cloak for Grimm green, but they kept it purple on the purple body. I feel like maybe it's just because they didn't want to change the character design, but that's just one thing I noticed as a kid that they didn't do. But that was more of a Monster Jam side of things, not the Hot Wheels side. Also noteworthy as well for accuracy purposes. Now looking at it after the Spin Master release, the roll cage color in purple also inaccurate, but they wanted to match them for the toys, so they did that for that release. What,
Phil?
Something Ryan was like multiplying.
What?
No, he was just saying like
multiplying. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, the roll cage purple on this release, but the beadlocks actually are accurate purple beadlocks on this truck. So pretty cool.
Yeah,
So that's where I leave my 30th anniversary discussion off. I'll let Phil now talk about his because he wanted to start here.
Yeah. Can we talk about how much like I'm not a fan of the 30th anniversary?
Oh, okay,
stuff? Sure. Only for the fact that it sets the bar way too high. So there was a year in Monster Jam where the tagline for everything was "as big as it gets." Whoever in marketing thought of that was a fool, because what happens the next year and the next year? We can't get bigger. You already said it's as big as we can get. We can't get bigger. That's it. We just need to go backwards now because you told me this is as big as it gets. So, shame. I think Gravedigger 30th Anniversary is in the same vein because it disappointed fans. In the 35th anniversary, it's basically nothing. And I would be venture to say that the 40th anniversary is going to be a bunch of nothing either. This is way too much. This was way much of a cash cow. They made poor Dennis Anderson change his body every week to change color schemes just to sell more puff trucks and T-shirts. So, and then it got to World Finals, and everything was like this absurd color chrome schmaz. It was like, how can you top this? And the answer is you can't. So, like, Dennis would have to change bodies in between competitions. That's pretty much how you can only top this. That's why I'm not a fan of it. I think this was way too big compared to, like, the 20th anniversary and the 25th anniversary. This was just way too much. I do like the schemes. I like the loud colors, obviously. I'm a loud, proud guy, especially love the purple. Then the choice by Hot Wheels to make these all Spectra Flames, it is kind of curious. I mean, they probably knew that World Finals they were going to run the Spectra Chrome bodies, so that probably played a role into some of the decisions. But it does kind of hinder that, where these are pretty much the keynote trucks for 2012, and they are as a Spectra Flame, and they're just really toyed up. They're not accurate at all. We got like purple chassis and stuff, so there's not really accuracy there except for like commemoration. And then again, I've said it before, I'm not a fan, especially on an anniversary vehicle, for somebody to go and remake an anniversary vehicle. Hot Wheels did it numerous times with the 25th anniversary trucks, and Spin Master's now doing it for everything. So I'm not a big fan of that either, because it's like, yeah, Spin Master definitely has an opportunity to correct the wrongs, but in my opinion, when it's an anniversary truck, it's not like you go reprint your high school yearbook. That happened. You don't go back and make more. So that's my opinion. And it confuses new consumers that think that Gravedigger is only 30 years old.
You good?
Okay. RJ, pull that up.
I can't. I'm gonna be the complete opposite. I love these. This is childhood, like nostalgic, like just because I'm a Gravedigger fan. These stood out. Still stand out. I mean, yeah, I can see where Phil's coming from with present day. But back to these. I mean, I like them. I mean, they're the two trucks of the year for me personally, next to Crustacean and whatever else I think about and see later on in this pod. But just, I like them.
Exactly. I'm just going to paste a link here. Someone hasn't seen the Spin Master edition of the 30th anniversary, so I dropped that link for anyone who hasn't also checked that out in the comments. Someone asking about the flames. Next, we have more Gravediggers. We're not done yet. Let's keep going.
The 30th anniversary, come on.
So here's rerun of our Gravedigger grain. So now,
and it's baby blue.
So like, yeah, it's baby blue, but with like the updated grain graphics. Although in the box logo is real curious. It uses like the red Gravedigger.
This is just a weird mashup.
This is why we when they use the picture from the Encore Gravedigger. Yeah. Which this is why we didn't number the year, so they can do stuff like this and just throw this out. Like, we need another block. Give them this. Here you go. We still have a couple of these.
Boom, take another one. Yeah. I feel like the grill print, which is just of the darker blue from last year, is just like their attempt at like, hey, here's kind of the Encore Gravedigger 12 without a green frame. But I mean,
yeah, exactly. But this was a interesting release, one-time deal, obviously, with that updated scheme on the older scheme. So they went backwards but forwards at the same time. So I don't know how that worked out, but we're back to baby blue, but we have the new updates, and then we have your card insert, and there you go. So it was an anniversary year. They can get away with just tossing things out like that, and they did. It's just another variation to collect. That's about all that you can really say about this release of this Gravedigger. The one previous to this with the dark blue paint and the updated graphics was more accurate. And this one just is like they wanted to do the baby blue one, but wanted to do it correctly with the baby blue paint. So that was the result of that. They just wanted to correct their wrongs at least one time with the baby blue. And there it is. So cool little variant from that year. That's about all to say about that Gravedigger. There's not much else. This one, however, there's a lot to say about.
Oh, here it is.
The debut of the brilliant Gravedigger the Legend. And this is obviously a new casting for the truck that had the new casting, or new body, I should say, from the, obviously made after the original panel van Gravedigger, Gravedigger number 1. So this was Monster Jam's modern day recreation of that truck. And then they made a die-cast one of it. This is the first release of it. So if you notice how shiny blue that is, that's because it's actually paint, not decals. Future editions are going to get ruined because they're going to be decals instead of blue paint. So this is our only real nice-looking Gravedigger Legend from Hot Wheels. The rest of them suffer hard from very bad graphics quality, but this was really nice. A very fresh face in the line. And this is not the only Anderson brother that's getting a new truck in Hot Wheels this year either. And that one's coming up too. So lots of great stuff for the team, Gravedigger team itself in this year's assortment. So Phil, Gravedigger the Legend.
Yes. So actually, just remember 2012 community involvement got a lot more prominent with the Hot Wheels. And this like right when Brendan was stepping in, who still is running the Hot Wheels Monster Trucks line. I remember they were posting sneak peeks of molds from these 2012 trucks. As the Legend maybe triggered my mind. They did it for some others. Crustacean we already talked about, so they showed them for Crustacean. Those are floating around on the internet, so that was really cool, and that got people a lot excited because I think there was a great fear that the Legend and then Son of a Digger would just run regular Gravedigger moldings and not get new molding treatment, but obviously that wasn't the case. And now, obviously, the right choice, it had to be done, so there was no question that was happening. So Gravedigger Legend as a truck, you guys know my opinion on it, and my opinion is the correct opinion because there's a reason why this truck no longer runs. This truck does not sell merchandise. It is not appealing to any consumer except for the old collector that is not buying T-shirts and puff trucks. So say what you will, there's a reason why they wanted to paint it purple, and if it was painted purple, it'd probably still be running today. And also a weird little tidbit. Gravedigger Legends World Championships don't count for Gravedigger. So some people think they're all the same, but not.
No, they're not. That's weird. People really think that?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, because it's all backwards. Okay, so here's the logic by that. So we all call Max D a 13-time champion. But is Goldberg and Team Mentz is not Max D.
13 time.
That's their fault.
13 time. Why is it 13 time?
Because Tom Mentz has 13 world championships.
He has 12.
13.
Okay. What are we now? Oh, Phil's saying the jump isn't a world championship, and
it is a world championship. It's 13.
Oh, so Ryan's saying it's not.
Right.
I thought.
Says
by
11.
that. But no, wait, 12? Wait, isn't it his 12th time? His 12th time came from his two-wheel skills.
No, it did it. Did it?
The
12. This is a 2021 truck. I know it's 12. There has not been no finals since then. 12.
No, it's 13. Blake Granger.
Okay,
Oh,
you
that
talked
is-
about Tom Mentz. You said Tom Mentz 13
Yeah, you
times.
said
He's
Tom
not
Mentz.
13 times.
You said Tom Mentz, not Max. Well, he did say Max.
Blake Granger
Okay,
doesn't.
he said Max D, and then he switched back to Tom Mentz, and then he switched back to Max
Yeah.
D. So
Oh, I'm right. I'm not wrong.
choose one.
Oh.
1, 2,
I
3.
guess I'll comment on this truck while Phil's doing that. This is a truck of the year argument for me. I remember the molds coming out and getting really excited about this, along with the then and nows. I can see where Phil agrees it should be purple with a big ass, or I didn't mean to say that, a big face on the side with purple on it. But I feel like this Gravedigger Legend is the best one to me.
Oh, even then, I guess it's 12. Why did I say 13?
Why did he say 13? Anyway,
It's not even
on the topic of the merchandise sales of Gravedigger Legend, I do agree. Just knowing, because I have to run distribution feedback. Man, that first release by Spin Master, which we'll get to eventually in the future, we'll have this story come up again, was not good. It stuck around and still is on pegs in Las Vegas. There are 52 of them.
Yeah, it is.
There's a certain store in Las Vegas that keeps sending me photos, or people from that store keep sending me photos. It's insane. Then
I'm not wrong.
Then they followed it up with another Gravedigger Legend, which is much better. But it's to be determined how well that one will do. However, with that said, Gravedigger Legend is still, in my opinion, even though the merchandise may not do the best, and that is what it is. The truck itself was very popular in terms of the field of trucks at the time. Like Adam's identity really came out with this truck. Taz as well, can be argued that as well. But when he ran this truck, all three Andersons were, well, at the time, no Kristen Anderson. At the time, the three Andersons were separated in their own identities. And we had Dennis in Gravedigger, we had Adam in Legend, and we had Ryan and obviously Son of a Digger. Now with Kristen in the field, it's like, well, obviously not now, but as it would be Adam, Kristen in Gravedigger, and then Ryan in Son of a Digger. There's not that third identity, even though there's three Andersons. And I feel like this truck still needs to be there for that. But understandable. Adam took the reins of Gravedigger after Dennis left. I understand that. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Kristen run this. It would be awesome to have her in a different truck as well to give her own identity. But I do miss this one. It was a really cool truck to have in the fleet, and I get for the reason for its retirement was for that hand-me-down keys to the truck. But I do miss seeing Legend around. I did enjoy its time on the circuit. And actually, one more thing I was going to mention, the purple one, which I don't think we'll ever really talk about any other time than this. That one was pretty interesting. I feel like they could have done better if they were going to change the Legend scheme, which is a scheme that's based off of, obviously, the real truck that ran back in the day. If they were going to change, which changes the fact that it's Gravedigger Legend, they could have done something more instead of just the ghost face with purple. I still, however, wish that would have run and we could have seen it and seen how it would have done so that we could get more toy versions of it. But that obviously was canceled by fan criticism and also Anderson criticism. So with that said, we're good here on Legend. That was a pretty long discussion.
Okay. Let's rant some more. So
Okay.
you picture this scheme, but just purple. That doesn't make any sense. That's why they had to drastically change design, because we're not spoofing a tribute scheme. And also nothing in the comments. Okay, well, I bet Weston Anderson's going to drive. First of all, Weston Anderson's 18 already. I'm like 87% sure. He's not driving a monster truck right now. There's a valid reason. Second of all, I think it's very important for especially Andersons. And they've said it, but I think it should be very important. The Anderson family is not obligated to drive Gravediggers. If they so choose to, that's, they have every right to say that. But like, I see a lot too, like Chris Anderson, her Gravedigger should be pink. No. Especially in an era where it's diversity and equality. If she don't want her Gravedigger to be pink, now I think she has said, Like she would be okay with a pink Gravedigger to make her different, but like to suggest that because she's a girl and her truck needs to be pink, or like suggest Adam has to drive the Legend, or like Weston gets Adam's hand-me-downs. That's no. How is that equality? If anything, Weston Anderson should drive Earthshaker. Like, just do something stupid, okay? Like, listen, everybody goes crazy. Why did Adam and Ryan drive different trucks? Adam Anderson's first truck was Vet King, and Ryan's was Monster Mud. So, like, we're not doing anything unoriginal here. So, Dale Earnhardt Jr. doesn't drive the number 3 and was never planning on driving the number 3. So, making his own brand. So, that's my comments on stuff like that. So,
yeah, I can see where that comes from. Again,
I say this because the Andersons are okay with that because, like, you heard all this year, Ryan's like, I can't wait to get back in Son of a Digger, and Adam's like, I can't wait to get back in Gravedigger. So it's not like that's not what they're thinking. I just don't like when the fan base just has to label that on everyone. Like, because it's going to come back and say, like, you're going to force somebody. Like, it started happening like the Monster thing. Like, well, Cynthia has to drive Monster Mutt Dalmatian. No, she doesn't. Yeah. She can drive Gravedigger. She could drive Bigfoot. Who cares? Like, come on. So that's all.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that. I do see that Cynthia comment a lot. I do see, when a driver drives something for so long, it becomes part of, in the fan view, the identity, like I was mentioning. And sometimes it sticks and sometimes it doesn't. Like, you don't affiliate Camden Murphy with Pirate's Curse. You affiliate him with Bakugan Dragonoid now because he's driven it in a more significant way, as well as the fact that he debuted the truck, and that sticks with him. And if he were to come back and switch to Max D, you'd still probably, when you think of Camden Murphy's name, think of that red dragon. It's just like when I think of Adam, it's Legend. When I think of Ryan, obviously it's Son of a Digger. When I think of Kristen, it's Gravedigger. So that's what I was mentioning in my comments. When it comes to Monster Mutt Dalmatian, I still think Candace Jolly, just because I've been around that long, and I don't think Cynthia. If I think Dalmatian Ice, I think Cynthia. If I think Galaxy now, I think Lindsay Reed. But I don't think Cynthia with
It's just like,
I feel like that's all. If Adam doesn't win 2 titles, maybe people just see that as the grain truck. I doubt it, just because of how
Tom Brady plays for the Patriots, and then he plays for the Buccaneers now. So
yeah, this is a great example. Great example here. Sorry to cut you off. Scott Buto. I really ever only associate him with Hot Wheels. El Toro Loco Ice was like, it just didn't fit. And I get that you can change trucks, but when he drove Ice, El Toro Loco was just like that. It still felt like he was driving Hot Wheels just because he drove it for so long. And it felt like he was driving a temporary truck just because of how long he drove it. And
that makes sense. It's but it's not like the fan base is forcing him. Like he can't drive anything except for Hot Wheels. Like
no.
His truck must be pink. Next truck. I like the sidebars. It adds a little different. Oh, here's another Gravedigger.
Oh my gosh, we're not done with Gravedigger yet. Oh, okay. Gravedigger number 7, I think, of this year. This is the return of that red primer from last year. Very clever little thing they did here. So Edge Glow obviously is here. So they made an Edge Glow truck, making it a green roll cage because the weird like Captain's Curse / Gravedigger truck back there that they ran in the Encore had a green roll cage. So they had the possible play with it. In this case, they used it, the green Edge Glow roll cage, to get away with it. And here's the result of that. Obviously, they're not going to do a casting for a one-off Encore truck. At least Hot Wheels won't. So we're getting this primer. We're getting the correct rims and almost correct. Obviously, it's translucent. Almost correct roll cage color. And then actually a really cool little like modified Gravedigger in yellow, even though the weird-looking baby blue one had the correct logo. So yeah, a weird thing going on here. But we have like this yellow outlined Gravedigger logo. The only other time we actually see this, and it's never on a toy again, I believe, was at World Finals 16 when they had all the logos flash before the intros in colorful formats. They had a purple and a green one. And that's the only other time we saw it. So, yeah, pretty cool. Just, that's it really to talk about this. I don't think there's much else to mention with this one.
It's pretty clever. Again, you said it there. They should have done this with the grain truck. They should have threw an Edge Glow on that one. And that, I think, would have been a little more involving, but
yeah. You're kind of right. Now looking back on it, because I feel like this is like the Encore single. Like this is a truck that is to mimic the Encore truck.
Yeah.
Just like the Grain was earlier with the black chassis. So I feel like that would have looked good, Phil, because I didn't mind this one. I like this one a lot.
Yeah,
so,
it was clever. I mean, now when you break it down, it's not really random. It's pretty clever.
Yeah, I mean, it's using the edge glow frame on something they already have and making it more realistic. So very cool.
So here's Advanced Auto Parts Grinder once again. This was a new truck to kick off 2011. Here it is again in 2012. I don't think there's any changes.
No, not yet. Not yet.
So not yet here. Another chance to get Grinder. Now the Grinder team goes from they're 3 trucks strong now.
Yeah.
Go Grinder.
Grinder time.
Grinder time. Is this a new one? I feel like we've seen.
You know what? I don't even know. I have to double check. So here's Gunslinger as a mud truck. I honestly don't know. That's a problem. Okay, that's why with the mud trucks and stuff. Like there's supplements to make the re-release mean a little more, but you just forget them so often. I'm double checking from the previous year. I don't even see a Gunslinger.
Actually, in fact, it was a repeat because I remember talking about how limited the mud was. Yeah. The mud was super not even there on this. So
these are the re-releases you don't want. Like this doesn't make any sense.
No, Pig Warmer for sure. I remember that.
And then we get here's a big one.
Boy.
Shout out to Tyler Ramirez. I just helped him get one of these. I still have to ship it to him, but I helped him get one of these from Tanny and Root. So Heartbreaker. This is a one-time deal. So if you guys want this pink truck, this is your only chance to get it. There he is in the comments. So Heartbreaker, obviously, the name really explains the truck. I mean, there's not much else to talk about with this besides Phil's going to cover the actual independent truck itself. But one-time deal, only ever released once, and it was this year. Bright pink, black rims, pretty accurate. Cool truck. I really do like it. And, I'm kind of upset they didn't do it more. But it does make it more rare. It's actually really become expensive in the last couple of years for whatever reason. So Heartbreaker, Phil, tell us about that. Kayla.
Yeah, so teammate to Martial Law. We would get Martial Law for the last number of years now. Paul Strong, this is his significant other. Kayla Savage is the main driver of Heartbreaker. Heartbreaker's still around today. Kind of pops in here or there. Paul and Kayla now own a motorsports park out in North Carolina, so they're still involved with the business. Obviously, we know Paul Strong. He pops in. He drove Master Disaster for a season. Then he drove Zombie Fire for a season. So. Well, they're still very much involved, and any chance they get, Heartbreaker will appear. So it makes sense to have the team truck here. We get Martial Law a lot of times, and we're always these pink trucks are always so curious from Hot Wheels, and here's another one here too. Only gets one release. Very much the same like M2D Camo Thunder. This comes out in many capacities at the beginning. This is an early truck for the year. So there's a lot of different ways to get Heartbreaker, but just like Camel Thunder, once it's gone, it's gone. And this has become more rare because, again, the pink truck phenomenon, we've talked about it at length with trucks like Medusa. The Hot Wheels doesn't do a lot of pinks. That's why our new Barbie Monster Vet is a treasure hunt because they know not a lot of pink things get made, play it up a little bit. But this is one people definitely want now, especially a lot of the female collectors. Obviously, you have a female driver, female in the truck. Everything's pink and proud. Those black rims, again, just like we saw with Crusader and Desperado. So yet another new truck that has black rims. Doesn't shock me why this is going for so much now. Definitely a shame we didn't get this another year. Really a stinker. And Martial Law, we'll talk about it actually next year, has a missed opportunity as well. But, pretty interesting.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about with the 124 and all that fun stuff that happened with Martial Law. But this one I just pulled out of my shed, was covered in dirt, so kind of feel bad as a collector having mine covered in dirt. But it is clean and on the shelf in the house now and respected. But crazy how rare it's gotten, clearly with the pink and everything, but very happy I got one now. Or I've always had one. It's just clean now inside. But, good stuff.
Yeah, last note on that, the Barbie was mentioned. I actually had a lot of people asking, well, I guess not asking me, but in the comments of Hot Wheels post about Barbie, they made a post with just the truck and just said Barbie's coming to the monster truck field. People were going off about how rare it was and how the chase piece shouldn't have been a chase piece. It should just be a regular release. If it wasn't a chase piece, which, by the way, I'll give them some defense because that thing's really, really hard to find. Unless you found 10 at the beginning. It's very unlikely that you're going to see that many ever again. I never found one in stores, and I've seen Case A countless times and still do. It's very hard to find, and I feel like they could have tossed a little more out there. I don't know how limited that run was, but it was limited, really limited. I don't know if it's because it was pink, because it was Barbie, if it was trying to be like a super. I don't know. However, the argument that it shouldn't have been a chase piece, I don't think that's a good argument. I think that it should, and it is, and I'm glad that it is, because it does not only help the value stay strong with a Barbie truck, but it also keeps it from becoming a pig warmer. And that would make the argument for pink trucks go back to what we had here, and not.
Yeah, well, it's agreeable. Now, although I don't remember Heartbreaker hogging pegs, and obviously Medusa never did, but unfortunately, it comes from a lot of the female collectors that a lot of the young girls, they identify with Barbie. They want the Barbie truck, and it's being hogged by a bunch of greasy men at a flea market. So that's problems there. But valid arguments. I don't toot any horns there. I think it's the right call, 100%. Unfortunately, it's just the name of the game.
I feel like it. I feel like you don't.
Yeah, go ahead, RJ.
It becomes more common, and the need for pink trucks isn't there like it is now. So I like it being a treasure hunt. I wish I had one, and
we do get Podium Crasher as a pink truck that we do see a fair amount of. So it's not like there's no pink trucks at all.
And on the pink note, one last thing. Monster Mutt Poodle from Mix 10 has they really produced a lot and flooded pegs, and they are the new peg warmer. So that pink poodle is everywhere. However, that would have been an argument to stop doing pink trucks, but Mix 14's full charge is flying off the shelves. And I don't know if it's going to look similar to Barbie in a way, or if it just is more appealing, or people just don't like the poodle. But yeah, full charge did much better than poodle did. And those are both really bright pink trucks. So the pink argument's still out there.
The question comes up: is it possible for Spin Master to make Heartbreaker? I don't see why not. They would have to get a hold of Paul and Kayla. I mean, their trucks haven't ran Monster Jam in a while, but again, Paul was most recently drove Zombie Fire, so they're not hard to find people. They're very active on social media, so they can do Heartbreaker and Martial Law, but they have to go through Monster Jam too. So, but you never say never.
Yeah, I would say Martial Law a little less of an opportunity there, but Heartbreaker, if the contract,
the green one.
What? No, I'm just saying the name. In a sense, it sounds that would be a little bit of a.
It's a little different.
Yeah, it's. I'm just thinking like Sagan Shaker would happen. That that's kind of difficult. It's a difficult run. But Heartbreaker, obviously, no issues there. And if the contract's still active, that's a truck that can do it any time. So we'll, I'll see. I like Heartbreaker, so I wouldn't be opposed to seeing it again. This one's an important one. So very weird one, but important one nonetheless. Hot Wheels, Team Hot Wheels Firestorm, officially at this point called that.
Not Firestorm.
Not Firestorm. Okay, this is called Team Hot Wheels then. Eventually it will be called Firestorm. So this is the first year with it. And if I recall correctly from World Finals 18's Hot Wheels meeting, when they talked about this thing, this body was supposed to be the 3D one, but they didn't get it done for that year. And then next year, or soon, I don't know when, soon, I think it's next year, they're going to have that 3D debut. And the real truck did run 3D Firestorm body with the 3D teeth, the spoiler, all that stuff, all that jazz. And unfortunately, the Hot Wheels toy with the white scheme, the original scheme, never got there. It was replaced by the current Team Hot Wheels the Firestorm scheme. However, there is a prototype floating around of this with that scheme. It was most commonly seen on WalmartRaceAwards.com when they were doing that given or mail-in thing, and that sadly was not something you can get. So people were like sending their receipts just for normal mainline trucks, and chances are you just got a regular random mainline truck. You didn't get that Hot Wheels. It was an impossible one to get. So sadly, this scheme, which was a really cool scheme on the 3D body, unfortunately it suffered this Ford pickup truck tooling on this version, was never done. So if we get a picture of those teeth, let's just check out that grill wrap. Man, that was when I saw this, I was like, what happened here? Honestly, I actually remember this. I left in the super. I didn't get in stores, and then when it came in the superstore, it took me like 3 years to pick this up, just because I didn't like how it looked. I just thought it was just not good. People were worried that when Exterminator was coming around, because the pickup truck tooling change was fairly new, that this was going to be what it looked like. Thankfully, it was the better tooling, but this was just not a great release, but a funny one to see, because there is a story behind why that happened, and that was just because budgeting. They didn't have the budget for this year, so that tooling change just occurred when the scheme change occurred, and just you never got it. So that's that. Phil, tell us about this.
Well, you got to remember too. So 2012 was when the Hot Wheels truck returns to the circuit with Dan Evans as the driver. So it's the commonplace is almost always new truck. It gets a toy the next year. But when the truck is the toy company, you can take liberties to get your truck out a little bit faster. Unfortunately, you have to deal with the sacrifices like this. Like, well, we can get our toy out, but we're not going to have the tool that we want. But at least it keeps it in people's fresh in mind. It is a good placeholder for collectors or people in the Carpet League that they do have, like their Team Hot Wheels. They'll get their better one next year and so on. But, that was always just, Hot Wheels being sneaky, getting their own deal out. Here's here's anybody has never seen it. Here it is, because I saw my yearbook on the counter from the original Hot Wheels. Airman Dan was the inaugural driver. Neil Elliott ran it at World Finals. We'll talk about it more in depth next week, or the next when we talk about 2013, when we do get Firestorm with the 3D body and going on there. Question just came in. I wonder if Spin Master is going to do their own what? That's called Bakugan Dragonoid. So,
just want to say the Woo.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised with how many people ask me if they're going to do Firestorm.
No.
Hot Wheels.
Can't they just call it Firestorm?
Yeah, no. Hot Wheels and Spin Master are separate companies doing two different monster truck lines. If you see a Firestorm or any sort of rendition of that, that'll be on the other side of the aisle, not this side. That's Bakugan. That's at least Spin Master's current company truck. That's Bakugan. Hot Wheels truck belongs in the Mattel world of Hot Wheels, not in this world. So no, not gonna happen. Of all trucks that could never be done, that's the number one truck that, if you ask me right now, if there's a possibility, there's a 0% chance. Zero, not
that's more
one.
unlikely than Monster Energy. OCD. That's
more unlikely than Monster Energy, yes, because that could change. Company policies can change, but Hot Wheels. If Spin Master Monster went to Hot Wheels and asked, "Can you make your truck?" What do you think?
No, they can't make Brutus. Come on.
No. They're not gonna.
Why do you think they make Brutus? They're not on NBC. Come on, fellas. Okay, RJ, save us.
Contracts expire. What happens? Go ahead.
Yeah, contracts expire. This truck was another one with Heartbreaker. I found out in the shed, a little dusty. Felt bad because of how rare it is, but another one I saved from the wreckage of childhood and back on a shelf. Very glad I have this truck because of just the body change the next year and how this is a one and gone type deal and early stages of it. Very cool. Very glad I have it.
Someone just said they could do NBC Sports, which obviously they probably could if it ran a contract truck. My idea, if they didn't do it in real life, to just do a toy concept, it would be cool to see since NBC has the peacock for the logo. They could use the wildfire or free broadcasting, I guess you would call it now, and just make it like a rainbow bird. That would be pretty cool.
Gosh, that would be incredible.
Wouldn't that be incredible? That's a great idea. That just
nobody should do that. Like, make a custom.
Isn't NBC closing to USA at the end of the?
Like the sports network's getting dissolved, but God, Peacock,
the USA cool. The USA or wherever they go, because we don't even know where they're ending up.
Oh yeah, no, Peacock streaming service. That's right. So that's
stay with NBC. But I think that's pretty clever. Make a Peacock truck.
Yeah, Peacock truck. The I still call it wildfire casting, the Freebird casting. That would be really, really cool because obviously they did the 4th of July wrap perfectly, or wrap that across the wings. They could do a rainbow wrap for that.
The peacock, that would look pretty nice. Not gonna lie, that'd look pretty good.
Brainstorming session going on here.
Taylor, send a message to Taylor. That's make that his next custom.
Taylor, I knew you're watching.
The peacock, NBC Sports. That'd be nice.
Right. That'd be Shut up with the birds. New truck.
All right, new truck. Hurricane Force. I'll let Phil talk about this one since it's a new truck. Go ahead.
Yes, new truck. It's a teammate to Storm Damage, which we have seen since 2010. Here's the teammate truck, Hurricane Force. Now, Hurricane Force becomes like the top trucking like the team because Steve Thompson becomes such a rising star and still a prominent driver today with the Hurricane Force. This is the loud and proud scheme that the truck ran. It's very much busy. I know the current Spin Master one that we get is like based off the current truck. That's a very loud scheme too. But there are some periods where the scheme gets dumbed down. But this is the much better Hurricane Force, and it gets a toy. It's a first edition. Definitely one that everybody was looking for because we did have the storm damage. So it's not like this is random. It's warranted. I love it, man. What do you got to say, RJ?
What I got to say is I just found 2 of these in the shed finds that I'm going through right now. So that's funny. But I liked it back then. Teammate truck to storm damage, so it's kind of a must-have, or you wanted to see in the line, and we finally got it. So very nostalgic, and probably why I have 2 in the container that I found. Anywho, what do you think? What else you got?
No, actually, I'll say something. I remember seeing this scheme at Monster Jam sometime when it was called the Young Gun Shootout. This thing flipped over and the tire was spinning so fast. It was funny to see them slow it down. That's like a significant memory I have at World Finals out of all the times I've been there. My dad was like, the tire's spinning so fast, how are they going to stop it? They're going to get killed. And then like the bulldozer pulls up or whatever, the track crew pulls up and they stop the tire. And he's like, oh, that's how they're going to stop it. It was just funny. One random memory out of all the things I could have remembered. It's that moment. That's my only significant memory of Hurricane Force. It was cool to see it at World Finals, though, and see it compete. I don't think I've really seen it compete much after that at shows that I've been to. But yeah, this is the scheme I remember most out of Hurricane Force. But we have seen it recently 2 times now in the last 2 years with the newer scheme in Spin Master. So with that said, I think we're good on Hurricane Force. And another new truck.
I don't think Michigan on here. This is definitely an M, but we have it in the eyes.
Yeah, we're gonna have to relabel 2012. It's really off the charts. So Michigan Ice Monster is obviously, like I said, a new debut scheme in the Hot Wheels field here with the independent team, and I'm noticing that flame, or not the flame, the stripe wrap is either cut off or the glare is cutting it off. But that's not good. So this truck, Phil will tell you about it, but it was really nice, and eventually. I can't remember what year it was. I feel like it was 2018. I think it was a flag series. 2017 flag series. We get a retro edition, which looks even more sick than this. But Michigan Ice Monster is going to stick around, I believe, for the next significant amount of years. It's going to go through body change. It's going to get an edge glow. It's going to get I think this year it's going to get a snow treads release. So it's really, it's going to be around here for a while. Phil, tell us about Michigan Ice Monster.
More red cat all over this too. Got no ground pounder, but we get Michigan Ice Monster. Hey, another black rim truck too. All our new ones are getting black rims for just some weird reason. But man, okay. So Michigan Ice Monster is obviously an old school truck, and Sudden Impact team got to run Michigan Ice Monster for a little bit of time, so they had a little bit of a retro thing going on with the old Excalibur too. So obviously warranted to get a toy. Again, kind of goofy how Excalibur's on the Ford tooling and we get Michigan Ice Monsters here on the Chevy tooling. So not consistent like team wise there. But I mean, a lot of people like Michigan Ice Monster. The old like the Ice Monster character is like such a goofy looking dude. This truck could still be rocking today, and I think people would just love it. It's a very simple truck scheme, but it serves a large purpose. Why does the logo look like a ghost? Well, it's the Michigan Ice Monster.
It's a nice monster.
This thing got me back into or are you done, Phil? Go ahead if you're still going.
No, I'm done.
This thing got me back into like the retro kick. So at this time, I'm like, oh, new paint scheme and new this and new that. And then I don't know if it was the Pontiac show that was a non-Monster Jam, of course. That happened with this truck, Excalibur at it, but man, this truck just like a fish to a line or a hook. I was hooked on the old nostalgic themes because of this truck. So I just love Michigan Ice Monster. I always have, always will. So I thank this truck for making me respect the history more to this day.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of, this is just another side topic as we talked about earlier. Speaking of identities and drivers, I have in my Gears and Galaxy post from today, Armando Castro and Elvis are going back and forth with each other. And they're talking about just throw me in a truck at this point. Armando just said, toss me in Monster Month Dalmatian. I don't care at this point. And I'm just thinking, it's just funny. You'll see that drivers right now will drive whatever. So, El Toro Loco, Armando Castro, that's more. I tie both of those drivers with El Toro Loco now. Armando mostly because I talk to him a lot. And if he switched to Dalmatian Galaxy, I guess it would be, that would be a really big switch from the Toro to the Space Dog. But
he drove Megalodon once.
He did. But it just shows you that drivers aren't stuck or they're not like fighting to be in the truck they were in once. If they're going to drive, if they want to drive a truck and they're presented with the opportunity of driving whatever truck that they're given, they're going to do it. So back on that,
Armando and Elvis are the two El Toro drivers in the yearbook. So I think their lottery chances are a lot stronger than other people. Just in case you didn't believe me.
Okay,
but,
they are, and that's why I tied them with El Toro Loco so much. I also tagged them as the only drivers of El Toro Loco in my post. So anyway, back on 2012. Next up, I don't even know what's next, but let's see.
Well, Michigan I sponsor
this. Surprises.
Oh, this one. Okay. Yeah, this one.
Weird, it's such a weird thing. It gives me a headache. So this is one, like he said, bad news. This is the one that always suffers in terms of new scheme on a special
regular release ever.
We will never receive Illuminator normally. We receive it in the Spectra Flame edition. We receive it in Edge Glow twice, and then we never receive it again. So your chances of getting a normal one are 0. But it was cool to have it. I don't get why they did the Spectra Flame one. I really don't understand how it helped this at all. But the real truck actually has, like, obviously Illuminator, the name, light bars across the whole thing. It like is super bright and really cool. But yeah, this was just.
That's why they made the Spectra Flame goofball.
It didn't do much to add to it. I just feel like it. I'll let Phil talk about Illuminator. I'm just disappointed that we never got it normally done. It's just a disappointing one.
That's why it's Spectra Flame and Edge Glow, goofball, because the truck lights up. So Illuminator.
I get. The one truck that we should have got the final year they had the Glow in the Dark series. Hey.
Yeah.
But we got Batman.
I would have given the pass if they did that, but they give us Batman. So go ahead, Phil.
Yeah. Tell us about Illuminator is Screaming Demon, Jay Snyder again, doing its own thing. Talking about let's see if I got a picture because you can't see the card. This is like a fantasy scheme in a ways. This truck is just literally all blue with a name that illuminates. So this is a little bit of behind closed doors fantasy schemes, but nonetheless, it is represented. I guess I don't mind it too much.
I didn't mind it, honestly. I liked it. I mean,
yeah, Ryan does make a point. We don't get this like normal release, which is a stinker. But like the whole concept of the Illuminator is to illuminate. So I guess it gets a little bit more of a grace in my head. But yeah, this is also another one too. And Illuminator is another one too, where we get the Screaming Demon for so long, and now we get like a new version of the teen truck and whatever. But after a while, it still lives in like the spirit of Screaming Demon, where we get it over and over and over. And please, nobody harass George Bellham. Like, we've got a weird comment section going on right now.
They called him Bellham.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I mean, now saying they should have probably done this as the final glow in the dark truck, how awesome that would have been, Ryan. But because it would have made sense. But I like it, and like hopefully I get that black light box going with the Edge Glow one. That is more presentable than this one in later years. I liked it. Not this one, but I liked it.
Yeah, exactly. Let me open up this comment section here.
No, you don't have to clean anything up. I don't need to delete anything.
No, I saw someone say something. I can't see some
load.
Okay,
I mean,
anyway.
this was probably making it a Spectra Flame to make it flashy, but
Yeah. Okay. So next truck, since we're making some good time on this after chipping away at it pretty quickly.
Oh, Illuminator does run that scheme. Save the snack saves my butt a lot.
I thought so. I thought that scheme. Yeah.
But it doesn't run it at that time.
I got a T-shirt with the blue scheme
Well,
on it.
that
Well,
happens.
is when they sell the truck, this is not what the truck looks like. So it's very weird.
We've seen that happen many times. Hot Wheels makes a scheme, and the truck eventually runs it. So,
But then, like, it doesn't run it ever again. What are we talking about
Yeah.
here? Lindsay Wing doesn't work for Monster Jam anymore. There, I said it. Okay, next truck.
We already told everyone that. Okay, next,
Oh my
please.
goodness.
We're talking about 2012.
Iron
Okay, Iron Man. I might see something here. Let's scroll down to the roof shot real quick. That looks like gold paint. Eventually, we're going to start seeing with okay, this is still the gold paint one. Eventually, we're going to see with graphics gold, and that's not going to look good.
Yeah.
So another chance to get Iron Man. We talked about this last time. So next truck, I don't think we cover it again.
Yeah, Iron Man again. Except I will say the superhero trucks are they're no longer like U.S. only. They're found everywhere. So kind of strange
Okay.
deal. If you don't know what I'm talking about,
All
go back to the
I remember
previous
that,
2011. Iron Outlaw Mud Truck again.
Yeah, skip
Again,
it. Next. We already talked about it. If we're skipping too fast for you guys, we talked about these last time because they're just not as significant as the things are in the
This is a new truck, new scheme.
okay.
Oh,
The Infamous. So Jurassic Attack gets a purple scheme this year, and it also gets a 124 scale. And then in either 17 or 18, also gets a 124 scale again, purple, which is odd. But yeah, this is am I right to say this is the ride truck color?
You
Is
are
that what this
correct.
is? Okay, it
Yes.
was the green that never was real. Okay, the purple one becomes or is at the time, I'm not sure which is the case. This is a ride truck. They bring it to the Hot Wheels casting though for the competition truck, which is cool. It was a great truck. I think it's the only year we get this one, so it's like a one-off. So it's really cool though. I think out of all the Jurassic Attack schemes, besides the original one of the like fantasy or different color ones, I like this one the most. Even including, I'm sorry to say, modern day Jurassic Attack, I do like the purple one from ones that didn't compete as competing competition trucks. So with that said, Phil, anything you can tell us about this? Like anything you know from Don?
No, you said it. This is the ride truck color.
Yeah.
Interesting. The ride truck never actually has the name Jurassic Attack on it, but it's exactly it. At this time period, Jurassic Attack's gone. This runs its last event, like a one-off in October or November-ish of 2011, and it's gone. The trucks are sold. Jurassic Attack is pretty much out of the public eye, except for the ride truck, of course, until fast forward current time here. So, but it makes sense. Don Frankish always kept the Jurassic Attack license alive, always getting these trucks produced. So it made obvious sense to make it a purple one here, and great way to include it here in the line.
Yeah. I have the 124 version of this. I don't have the 164 one right here. At least I don't think. I maybe just need to dig deeper. I might find it in my tubs, but this one was good. I like this one, especially like Ryan said, when a non-competing truck gets a die cast, it's always cool to see.
Yeah, I also want to mention that from like RJ said, he doesn't have one, and I didn't have them for a long time. I think until like 2016. This was hard to find and very expensive at the time, at least back on eBay. So I don't know why, but it was. So that's one I do recall, like off the top of my head. That's like one that was really difficult. King
Taking
Crunch.
a quick look at King Crunch here. Is there anything new with King Crunch?
The graphics changed. That's about it. The quality. That's it. That's all that's changed here.
Yeah. So King Crunch puts another shot here as well. Move on to the next one. Crazy Train. This was a new truck from 2011. This was in the first case of 2012 here. So a lot of Crazy Trains are on shelf all at one time. So
And they're peg warming hard.
it was at the end of 2011 and beginning of 2012. So another chance to get Crazy Train there. For some reason, you couldn't find it. Here's something kind of cool here. So here, once again, it's a Little Miss Dangerous is high maintenance, but we have some different stuff here, Ryan.
The different stuff I'm hoping you're saying is just the roll cage and chassis color change,
Yeah,
not the
they
graphics.
made it an edge glow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes sense. Honestly, I think it would even benefited from like a pink edge glow or a purple edge glow, but they didn't do either of those colors, I believe. So we stuck with the green, but that also works. It's a neon green and it works with the scheme. So that's a rhyme. So it works. I like it. And also another very difficult one to find, just like last year's high maintenance was difficult to find. Just inherently hard for these two. So, if you have one and you found it on pegs, I never did. So congratulations. I had to get these off eBay. I think actually this one was from the Superstore and the other one was from eBay in the future. yeah, difficult ones for me to find. So that's my experience. But anyway, Phil, if you want to talk, I think we talked about this one. So the truck itself,
great detail in the previous episode. RJ, have anything to add to that?
Just them using an edge glow the right way, mainly. That's all I got to say. Just using the edge glow the right way. That's
on a loud scheme truck too, so that's a good call.
Yeah, and that helps it pop too. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, here we go. Okay, so Medusa again. So last time we talked about Medusa was actually was the last episode. Yeah, last episode. It was that World Finals breast cancer awareness localized scheme. Ran only one time, and they made it in Hot Wheels version, which is really cool. And now we're on to what most fans really associate with now, which is the pink scheme. I hear that echo. Okay, we're good? Okay, we're good. Odd. Anyway, Medusa pink scheme. This is the one that's really going to stick around for a while in the real tour. And in the coming years, in 2016, we're going to see a really rare version of Medusa with the pink scheme. So she really makes a mark here with her toys. Always different. Every time they get released, always different in some form. And this is the return of the pink one. And we'll see the white scheme return one last time in 2015, and then the pink scheme will close it out for Medusa. Or sorry, no. We'll see the pink scheme, and then we'll see a chrome scheme that never actually ran, and then she's done. So, Phil, if you could tell us why Medusa's pink now, I think this is because of her return, right?
Well, she returns with red, white, and blue, and then she runs.
Okay, right.
She runs after a cup of coffee, and then she changes to all pink. There's reasoning for it. She says it in interviews. Ladies stuff, yada yada, makes it pink. Only time we get this pink Medusa. Okay, I know what you're going to say. Don't we get one in 2016? Well, we do. Has some changes, and most importantly, it's on a different body. That's why it's different. Again, that's why these Medusas are so valuable. If you want to hear why Medusa trucks are so special, go back to like our second or third episode where we first get Medusa. We talk about it in great length. I'm not going to repeat it here, but just know that the same Medusa truck never comes out twice. This is accurate to what the truck looks like at the time. Obviously, the truck runs a different extended cab forward body, but we're not going to get a new tool for that. There's really no purpose for that. But it's an A+ here. It's loud, proud, pink. Everybody wanted it, and no, Medusa's not going to get a new toy. And she ran one event in Australia. She actually didn't even finish the weekend. Had someone else drove the truck. So no, you're not going to get a Medusa toy.
And it was funny because it was Scooby or whatever they call that thing down there.
It was Buddy with eyebrows.
Had the eyebrows in the wrap. It was amazing. Oh well, that's just hilarious still to me. I was laughing when I saw that. Anyway, Medusa pink back again, and we'll see it again in the next few in the far future of episodes. We'll see
capacities, but just not standard like this.
Yes, and it's going to be rare soon. In terms of the next pink one you see one of them will be the rarest truck in the world, in my opinion. So next, let's keep going.
I don't know if you have anything on pink Medusa.
Sorry, RJ.
Real quick.
No, you're good. You can keep rolling it. I mean, it's you're good.
I know we're trying to crank a little bit. We're in like a cesspool of re-releases, so I'm trying to get a couple of these out. Here's Martial Law again. We saw the Teammate Heartbreaker. Not the fancy green Martial Law scheme that you will talk about in one of the 2013 episodes.
That's not it.
But is Headlight painting new here?
It could be. I don't know. But I do want to talk about the rims. So when they did the blue rims Martial Law, I believe it ran blue rims or something to that effect. But didn't it run the chrome hubs at some point too?
It did. Well, because Annihilator ran the large chrome hubs.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I was associating with it. So these chrome rims are accurate. They're not just changing them because they don't want to make blue rims. So they give us two versions of Martial Law. Both of them are accurate to the real truck's rims in different times. So this is the last time we're going to see Martial Law. And from its performance in past years, it did not perform well again. And this year, it just was not a very popular scheme.
We don't even get Martial Law in 2011, huh? It's weird.
I thought we did. We get it twice in some capacity. 2009 maybe, 2010.
Well, 9's when it first comes out, and then 10 for sure. I just want to look at these headlights real quick. Yeah. They are there. I guess it just stands out a little more.
It's just the rims. It's just the rims get you looking because the rim color's different.
What?
I know. I'm trying to clean the comments. Levi, please do your moderating job and delete comments like that for me.
Yeah, don't entertain them, Levi. Just delete. Don't feed.
I know. He talks back to him instead of deleting him. Next up,
okay.
Next up, we're gonna have to hire a moderator at this point. Just kidding, Levi. Please do it. So next up, Maximum Destruction. They're labeling as a new deco. I'm assuming it's because the championship got updated on the roof.
Yeah, 9-time.
9-time, yeah. So it's an update to the roof, and we'll see that every single year as far as Tom Mentz wins. So yeah, there's that. Nothing else to really mention about it. I think we're good. And
Mechanical Mischief gets another run here. This was a new truck from 2011, but unfortunately for Mr. Jim Burns, his truck becomes a peg warmer starting right now.
Yep, and it doesn't get any better from here on out. So.
Change. Right, no chance for Mechanical Mischief. Okay, so here's this trading cards backwards, but tell us what we have here.
Well, we have a Metal Militia. That's what we have. The last year edition never actually ran that scheme. If I think back correctly, what? Okay.
Well,
okay. No, you go ahead. I'm gonna be wrong. So go ahead.
Okay, so this scheme, when they unveiled, so Metal Militia timeline's really weird. So we get a Metal Militia toy in 2011. That's kind of like a hint that there could be something a brew. Like the real truck wasn't even a thing, it wasn't even a thought. I think it's SEMA in 2011. They unveiled Metal Militia, and it's this scheme.
Yep.
And this body only runs in Council Bluffs the next year or that December, and that's it before it changes to the machine gun scheme that we mostly associate with Metal Militia. But we get a toy of it here anyways. Red frame is still not accurate, but we do get these black rims that are just everywhere on a lot of these new releases this year. It's like the new gray. Everything's black rims.
I didn't know it did a show. That's very interesting. I thought it just did SEMA. So that
I didn't think it did either, but that's something I've learned over time. I think maybe the body was I don't remember what happened that week. That might have been like the first event of the tour, and Todd LeDuc wrecked it, and then that prompted obviously that wasn't the permanent scheme anyways, and so they gave us something new.
Yeah, and what I was saying before that happened, I meant the last year's scheme. The year before did not happen. It never was a real scheme. So that's why I was mentioning. I know why you cut me off. You thought I was going to say this never ran either. It did run.
I like running people over, so it's all right.
The chassis on this looks really odd. I'm not sure why it looks like it's gray. Is it gray or is it like not chromed properly?
It's like not chrome. I've noticed that a couple times in some of the trucks on our site here where it's like the chrome's not like fully polished.
It's like 50% chrome. You know. Oh well.
Breaker that I have, I'm cleaning up chassis like that, and I noticed it too. But I didn't know if mine was from wear and tear. So
that's actually a good note for collectors. That actually happened in 2012, where they had these weird like half chrome, half not chrome chassis errors, and I think they corrected it the next year. But it was very prominent in 2012. I forgot about that actually until I saw that Metal Militia, and you mentioned that. That was an issue. So that's just like a thing that happened. I don't know what was going on.
Rims that weren't chrome would always make my OCD go crazy, and I wouldn't get them because they weren't fully chrome. That was another reason why I didn't like chrome tires. But, anyway.
A theory I have on why they did that, maybe they didn't want to do the chrome. Maybe they thought the chrome chassis wasn't, necessary anymore, so they did like half a chrome chassis, have gray kind of thing going on here, and I don't think it worked well. That could have been something too. I don't know. That's a behind-the-scenes thing that I have no idea about. So next up, let's keep going on.
So we get Mohawk Warrior again. This was a new truck from 2011. So, of course, we're going to get another shot at it here. No different, except our card's a little crooked on our picture. Then we'll move on to our next row. We get our Sea of Monster Mutts. Here is regular Monster Mutt. Not going to scroll images here. Unfortunately, we get Monster Mutt Dalmatian Mud Truck, which is a rerun from the previous year. Should have been clean. That would have been fun because we also get Monster Rottweiler, the Rachel Edwards special.
Let's bring that. Where is it? There it is.
So here's Rottweiler here again. Same thing from before. So shout out Rachel. She gets another standard one here. But then we get a new truck here.
This one's a special one. Northern Nightmare. Here we are. So this truck was a vote truck, I believe, for Canadian fans. Phil will fill you in on that. I don't know. I think that's what it was, at least. So this truck, obviously, for the Canadian fans, they had like I thought they had a pick-a truck or something name going on here. Northern Nightmare was chosen throughout all that, and it had the maple leaves. That's pretty much the scheme. At this time, it had not won a championship, so the roof is the older roof. And Northern Nightmare, until recent times has been around. I don't know if they silently like retired the truck or not, but for the most part, we haven't seen it in recent years. And Cam McQueen has been put into unofficially recently Bro Camino, but yeah, Northern Nightmare, another one of the trucks that I associate instantly with the driver, and that would be Cam McQueen. Obviously a Canadian driver and in this truck. So there it is. It also has the Maple Leaf Tour Monster Jam logo, which was a tour going on at the time. So they had a truck for that tour, which was Northern Nightmare, and that truck stuck around. One more thing, this truck never does receive the correct tooling from either companies to this point in time. It is it's a tragedy that it never really gets that tooling. It would work and look so much better if it did have the extended fenders or whatever they call those things. I can't remember every time. I think they're just called extenders on the back, and that whole jazz. But we never do get that. So with that said, Northern Nightmare, Phil, tell us what happened in the moments leading up to Northern Nightmare's becoming a truck.
Of course, Cam McQueen's driving Nitro Circus, and Nitro Circus is done running. So where are we going to put Cam McQueen? And we still want to keep Cam McQueen in the fold. And they decided we're going to do a Canadian themed truck, which is I still find laughable. But I know the Canadians love it. But it's just I'll explain in a sec. So they run a contest to name the Canadians watching. I know. They run a contest to name the truck. Obviously Northern Nightmare was the winner. I think one of the other names was Canuck Crusher, which would have been kind of funky. This design was already like the design for the truck. Now they just had to put a name on it. So like something Canuck on it, I think would have been kind of odd. And then I don't remember what the other name was, but Northern Nightmare was the obvious choice. Gets the win here, and then Cam McQueen runs it 2012. Wins his world championship. This one's a sneaky one where we get it the year that it debuts. So, again, a lot of these times, these new trucks, you get it the next year. Well, Northern Nightmare, they were already planning this Canadian truck so far in advance that Hot Wheels already had the design. They just needed to get the name, and this was a later 2012 release. So we were able to sneak it in, which was super cool. Again, we don't get the accurate tooling, but again, why don't I like Northern Nightmare? This segments the truck so much where it is obligatory. It needs to run in Canada. And now, unfortunately, Canada is a big market, but this handicaps Cam McQueen so greatly where it's like he has to run Canada. Or like, how can you – then heaven forbid you have a Canadian event that Northern Nightmare isn't at. I just don't like trucks like that where the qualifications – it needs to stay in certain regions. Like El Toro Loco doesn't always run in southern events. Like it goes places. Northern Nightmare, I think, was way too niche. Where the Canadians loved it and Cam McQueen loved it too. I just think it was way too niche where to be like it has to stay in Canada. Like you don't see Cam McQueen all year until he blows a brake rotor up at the World Finals. But like that's why I'm not a fan of Northern Nightmare. I think it would have been done better service of Cam McQueen to be in a different truck where. Like the theme of it's too much theming, in my opinion. Too much theming.
Too much theming. They're going too big because it's as big as it gets. Not yet, but
it's still in that confines of that year.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead. What?
No, because Colin just gave Tyler Ramirez. It just represents Canada. It didn't have to stay there. That's true because there are Canadian events that do happen that Northern Nightmare isn't there. Northern Nightmare is somewhere else. But it's when you have a truck like this. It represents the Canadian people. It's like almost obligatory, expected that it shows up in Canada every year, and I just don't think that does anybody due service, in my opinion. The truck ran a while, so I could be completely wrong, but I think that it's just over theming, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see I can see where you said that, or I can see where you're coming from. This truck coming out the same year it debuts was nice. Loved seeing that, but Phil's got me all thinking sorts of stuff after his comments. So
I do want to say that when he did win the championship in this truck, I felt like that was a really good, just a proud moment for the Canadian fans to have their truck win a World Finals event, and they're represented through that. So that was I'm not Canadian, and obviously I'm here in the United States, but I'm sure that meant something to the Canadian fans, whether they live here and they were from Canada or they're Canadian or not. That meant something to them. It really did. So it was a moving moment when Cam McQueen won that world championship in Northern Nightmare. So I don't have mixed feelings about Northern Nightmare. I like it. I just felt like the scheme. This is my only complaint now, looking in retrospect, because Spin Master's inverse truck. I feel like the scheme, now seeing the inverse truck, could have worked much better had it been a white scheme instead of black, which I didn't ever understand until Spin Master did that inverse truck where it's a white and red, which is the Canadian flag. So now it's like, why didn't they do that? But anyway, that's just another off-note thing. It is what it is. But I did want to circle back to one thing I mentioned, which was the extenders on the truck. It's called a Racerback. I just couldn't get the words out. So thank you, Tyler Ramirez, for that. Racerback, actually by, I don't want to even try to pronounce that name. I don't even know. Lund, one of those two, hopefully. Anyway, next truck.
Actually, I think we should be done for the night.
Is that our last one in that row?
I think so. Well, okay. I'm looking at it where there is a good handful of like reruns in the next one. Where there are some new trucks, but then I know we're very heavy on special editions. I think this is a good stopping point.
Man, I was okay. Wow, I was actually not even tired after this one, which is surprising. I usually am. I didn't realize we actually ran 2 hours. I almost said 2,000.
Okay.
2 hours.
So we have 25 more mainline trucks to talk about, and some special editions. I think that we can definitely get that all done in a part 2. So I'm comfortable with stopping here at Northern Nightmare and then picking up next time with Obsessed.
Yes, that one's going to be interesting.
We'll start there.
Yeah, we have some really cool stuff coming up actually there. And Son of a Digger is yet to debut, and that's going to be a big one. So with that said, thank you all for watching. This has been a significantly long podcast. Nice to be back in the normal rhythm again. 2012 part 2 will be up next Monday live. What day is that? April
257 5.
Yeah, April 5th. So stay tuned for that. With that said, on my end of stuff, I should have some. I don't know. I can't even think of the reviews I'm doing. So more reviews will be coming out every Monday, hopefully. So you'll have content. As far as what the content will be, I have no idea at the moment. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Thank you, Phil and RJ, for all your commentary. And with that all wrapped up and said, we will see you guys next week, April 5th. Have a great week, everyone. We were glad to be able to start off your week with us, and thank you for joining. So until next time, this is Ryan, Phil, and RJ signing out.